is a political ally of the president, but her visit comes as the 27-member European Union is eager to cut a new trade deal with the U.S. and prevent reciprocal tariffs on imports announced earlier this month. Yesterday, a delegation from Japan met with President Trump and key cabinet officials at the White House. Jared Halpern, Fox News.
Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell says growth appears to be slowing and that policymakers will hold off on any interest rate moves for now, mainly due to Trump's tariffs.
The level of tariff increases announced so far is significantly larger than anticipated, and the same is likely to be true of the economic effects, which will include higher inflation and slower growth.
Powell's comments sent stocks into a tech-driven sell-off. The Dow dived nearly 700 points. The Nasdaq plunged 3%. Dow futures up 278 points at this hour. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
When the rough weather will move in. You have a clear radar in downtown Indianapolis. Nothing rough right now. 43 degrees. Your high today, 68. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 6:02. Severe weather moves in this weekend. Andrew White explains. He's a forecaster at the National Weather Service, Indianapolis.
Right now, we're kind of thinking across the state that the best chances for severe weather are going to be generally in the north and west portions of the state.
And White says the main concerns are strong wind and hail, but tornadoes are also possible. Indiana's latest money report shows that lawmakers now face a nearly $2.5 billion budget gap, and they have less than 2 weeks to figure things out. That's when the legislative session ends.
Where are we going to go? It was yet to be seen. How are we going to get there? Only time will tell. And time is not on our side at this point.
That's Democratic State Rep Gregory Porter. He says his party suggested several budget changes earlier this session that would have brought in more money. Indiana relies heavily on trade with China, which bought more than $6 billion worth of Hoosier goods in 23, mostly medicine, followed by crops like soybeans and grains. Some counties may be losing judges in the name of savings. Here's Chris Davis.
Judges make about $183,000 a year, and magistrates make about $146,000. A bill that passed the state Senate Wednesday proposes doing away with some of those positions to save money using a formula that uses caseload to determine how many judges are needed. If it becomes law, the bill would eliminate judges in Blackford, Carroll, Gibson, Greene, Jennings, Monroe, Newton, Owen, Pulaski, Rush, and Scott counties, along with 6 juvenile magistrate positions in Marion County. Savings the first year, about $750,000. Chris Davis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
The first round of the NBA playoffs tip off Saturday right here in Indianapolis when the Pacers hook up with the Milwaukee Bucks. The Pacers are 5.5-point favorites. Game 1 tips off at 1 o'clock. Coverage over on our sister station 107.5 The Fan starts at 12:30. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level on the go, and at WIBC.com you have traffic and weather together in 1 minute. It's 6:04.
Hey, this is Spencer Thompson at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. April is here, so that means it's our Dare to Compare sale. Compare our prices to any of the big stores in Indianapolis, your town, it doesn't matter. We guarantee you the lowest price on every sofa, sectional, recliner, mattress, outdoor furniture, anything, plus no extra fees, no delivery charge. Hurry, sale ends Monday only at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
All right, we take northbound 65 to come up from Greenwood, specifically State Road 44 in Franklin. And right now it's 13 minutes to 465 on the south side. No delays at the moment. And not saying anything that's going to slow you down or cause you to be late to work or late going to the airport or late for anything right now. When that changes, I will let you know. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage for a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Why do you say Franklin like that?
What did I say? Did I?
How do you say Franklin?
Franklin.
Yeah, you said it as Franklin. Like it was very George Takei. Oh my.
Oh my. Yes, Franklin. William Shatner sucks. No, it was. I just like Johnson County, and I like to give it an extra second. Really give Johnson County.
You heard it here first.
Yeah.
Matt Bear loves your Johnson County.
And we're off. Thank you, Carl.
Got that in before 6:10. Can I get a ruling on that? Oh, is that good? Yeah. That's solid work, right? That's solid. You're not gonna find that on TTS. No, you're not.
Cream of the crop here.
That's how. Lately, I've been doing the call-outs of other radio. I don't know. I'm sure they're all lovely people. I just think I want people to know that I actually know other radio exists.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah. No, I'm not afraid. TTS. Is that their theme song?
I don't know.
Hold on a second. Marcus, we'll get to you. We're just finishing up here with the whole therapy session. Thanks. Yeah. Appreciate that. Anything else we should do to totally ruin our ability to be a unique radio station by talking about others?
WJJ.
Right.
Marcus thinks I'm funny.
Wonder what Dave Smiley's doing right now. Wonder what he's.
No. Who's that?
Do you think our name ever comes into his head? Do you ever think Smiley's I wonder what Tony's doing?
Tony, there's not a person in this city that doesn't wake up and think about this show. I mean, it just pops in there.
That's the correct answer.
First thing in the morning. Yeah.
And that answer will actually help me sleep tonight. Yeah. Thanks, Matt.
You're welcome.
I told you this therapy session was worthwhile. Marcus Bailey, Wish TV meteorologist. Top that.
I can't. I think about the morning show on the weekends too, when you're not even on.
Yeah, but not other people's shows.
No, I don't.
You never woke up in the morning. I'm like, I wonder what Todd Clawson's doing today. You never did that.
No, that's true.
That's accurate. Right. This just in: Marcus Bailey hates Todd Clawson.
That's not true.
I swear I'm going to get you, Clawson, and Brian Wilkes in a room. It's going to be like Anchorman. One of you is going to have a grenade.
I don't know who that one would be.
That is the fight we have always wanted.
That's right.
Didn't know we needed. And you realize in that fight, you're going to need Tara Hastings because Drew Narsutis is going to be of no use to you whatsoever.
That's absolutely correct. Absolutely no use. That is fact. That is correct. That is
all right. Give us weather, and I'll move on with the day.
You got it. All right. Partly cloudy today. Hey, it's going to be a little warmer today, closer to average. Maybe a sprinkle or two, but don't cancel plans. That would happen by mid to late afternoon. Today's high 65. Mostly cloudy, very mild here for this evening into the overnight hours. A low only down to 56. Friday then, mostly sunny. Much warmer, but it will be windy, especially as we head into the afternoon. Friday's high 78. I think any storm chances hold off until well after midnight Friday night, but Saturday, scattered showers and thunderstorms looks wet. There could be a few gusty storms, too. Saturday's high 69. Easter Sunday showers and storms also likely. Could have potentially some heavy rain at times. Sunday's high 68.
And tonight, for those of you in Kokomo with me, by the time we get to cigars, 60 degrees on the patio.
Beautiful. Should be a great night up in Howard County. Absolutely.
It's going to be perfect for the Christoph Tres Compadres. That is our cigar of the evening. And you got trust me. Trust me on this. I know what I'm doing. Marcus, I got to go do radio and talk about my show and not other people's shows. Yeah, I got to go. Got to run. All right, boo. Appreciate you. That's Marcus Bailey of Wish TV. 42 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 6:10.
This hour on 93 WIBC, powered by Damon's Garden Center West on Rockville Road.
There has to be a moment where management calls me, right? It has to come one of these days. No? All right. One less thing. The forecast may be overblown, and maybe everybody could stop clutching their pearls for a moment because there's something political. Can we ask what it means to say that we have a possible $2 billion shortfall? But it's not a shortfall. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC, good morning. Good to be with you. Now, we've got the story. WIBC.com. Hurrah for the headline that is accurate. Indiana's revenue forecast, $2.4 billion less than expected. First, that is a forecast based on what was already a forecast. Second, no one knows if the $2.4 billion number is accurate. And third, this means that our job is to say, well, what taxes can we increase, or what fees can we increase, or this is our response? This is the knee jerk? I think we've got some programs to cut, some fat to trim. Why? That should be our first response. Or we could say, well, what are we looking at here? What is the cause of this? Were our numbers accurate to begin with? Do we have to concern ourselves with forecast? Are you telling me that we budget to the forecast and we don't leave room for, I don't know, in case we're wrong? If people could breathe, that would be glorious. That would be terrific. And as for what this means, well, if it means less growth in Indiana, that's an issue, and that could have to do with the inflation numbers over the last years, and it could have to do with what people are saying for tariffs right now. It could have to do with a host of things. Going to more screaming, valueless. And also, it really does seem that after some deep conversation and looking, that this property tax bill that's been signed into law, also valueless. I have got that story in two parts with Dr. Matt Will, economist at the University of Indianapolis. You are not going to want to miss it. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning.
This is Gary Dick sending satellites to space from Indiana at 6:32. Brought to you by Indiana Wesleyan University's AI-powered executive MBA, designed for forward-thinking leaders. Learn more at discovertheway.com.
Hello, it's Matt Bear for Cochran Exteriors. Don't wait to beautify your home for summer. For a fresh new look and increased home value, new siding by Cochran Exteriors is the answer. From James Hardy Fiber Cement Siding to a big array of vinyl siding colors and styles, the experienced pros at Cochran have all of the choices, plus a lifetime workmanship warranty. Help your home find the fountain of roof. Call Cochran Exteriors for your free estimate at 317-ROOFING or visit CochranExteriors.com. Tell them Matt Bear sent you.
Look around. Spring is here. And no matter what you're planning or planting, Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. So spring forward in a Hubler quality pre-owned vehicle, including Chevys, Fords, Toyotas, GMCs, Buicks, Nissans, Acuras, Mazdas, Hondas, and many more. All makes, all models, certified vehicles, luxury vehicles, even the hard-to-find ones. Shop any of Hubler's 13 locations and choose from over 2,000 vehicles. Every Hubler Q-certified vehicle is covered by a 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty, plus a 128-point vehicle inspection and a free Carfax history report. So spring forward, knowing Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. Visit Hubler.com or any of our 13 locations.
Hubler's got you covered. Cover me!
Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
Traffic on the fives. Matt Bear, what's going on?
Check it out, westbound 70 coming in from Greenfield. You guys look good even through the construction. Mount Comfort Road into 465 on the east side, and then a quick trip into the north of Split. Have a safe morning, if you would, please. Inbound 69 Good to talk to you, Fishers. Looking good. State Road 37 to 465. 4 minutes there, and then 13 minutes continuing on Benford Boulevard to the city center Meridian Penn. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping and code radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
We've got ourselves 60 degrees. Is it 60 degrees? No, it's 42 degrees. It's going to be 60 later. 42 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 6:16.
Hi, Pat Sullivan here from Sullivan Hardware and Garden and Allison Bedding Plants, perennials, annual containers, shrubs, trees, and much more. With so many colors and varieties, it's the best looking selection you'll find anywhere. Come see the difference. Why, you ask? Our plants are from top quality Midwest growers, many right here in Indianapolis. Check the specials on our patio furniture like all-weather wicker, Berlin Gardens poly, cast aluminum, teak, and more. You can even choose your own custom cushions on most sets. We specialize in excellent quality mid-price patio furniture that's in stock at our 37,000 square foot warehouse, all priced at 30% off. See our large selection of grills, Weber, Traeger, and the Big Green Egg. Shop, play, experience. Spring with Sullivan's. 71st and Keystone, 49th and Penn, Cicero, and Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan in Fishers.
Americans love using their credit cards, the most secure and hassle-free way to pay. But D.C. politicians want to change that with the Durbin-Marshall credit card bill. This bill lets corporate megastores pick how your credit card is processed, allowing them to use untested payment networks that jeopardize your data security and rewards. Corporate megastores will make more money, and you pay the price. Tell Congress to guard your card, because Americans lose when politicians choose. Learn more at guardyourcard.com. Paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
April showers can bring plumbing downers, and my friends at Hope Plumbing don't want you to get caught in a flood this spring. Make sure your sump pump is working properly to avoid any damage. During the month of April, call Hope Plumbing and get a free sump pump with the purchase of a new battery backup system. A sump pump is vital to protecting your home from heavy rains, so you don't want to delay in calling Hope Plumbing. The number is 641-HOPE. That's 641-HOPE, or visit them online at hopeplumbing.com.
Listen up, Gen Xers. Elizabeth Banks here. The recommended age for pneumococcal pneumonia vaccination has been lowered to 50 and older, even if you're healthy. It's up to us to lead the way. We've done this before. Music videos, fanny packs, even the World Wide Web. So let's do it again and get vaccinated. We're at over 6 times greater risk for pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults under 50. Gen X, this is our shot. Visit vaxassist.com to schedule. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Men, if you're over 40 and you're not feeling like yourself lately, no energy, low motivation, low T centers testosterone therapy is the solution. This month only, the consultation is free. Book today at lowtcenter.com.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
Aruba, Jamaica, ooh, I wanna take you. Bermuda, Bahama, come on, pretty mama.
Tonight's the night, Kokomo. Trump and American Reset in 3 bourbons. Cannot wait to see you all there. Yeah, the room looks great. Did the setup, the walkthrough yesterday. Absolutely terrific. So glad. Now, I do want to get into where we're going Southside and where we will be in November. Maybe get a little help from you guys on that. But tonight, for those who are going to be there, tickets.tonykatz.com. You can learn all about it. Trump and American Reset in 3 bourbons. Laser Precision Marksmanship Club is going to have the whole firearm simulator there, so everyone's going to be able to try that. LaserPMC.com. PA Jewelers is going to be there representing Flederman Von Rees, the watch people, where I'm a brand ambassador. You're going to be able to actually get a watch with the discount right there. It's very, very cool. You know, PA Jewelers, they're the best. The bourbon from Heaven Hill. All the bourbon from Heaven Hill. And you can go look. You'd be like, okay, Tony did good. Tony did very, Very good. Got some swag. We have a super fan at WIBC, David Drake. And Drake went into a business for himself, Drake's Laser Engraving. And so I reached out to him because he had done a coaster for me, a slate coaster, which is very, very cool. I got to get some more of. And so there's some very, very cool swag from him. So, Drake, thank you. Big Hoffa's with the barbecue, Circle City Sweets with desserts, because there's always desserts. Spectacular evening coming up. I will see you guys tonight. Trump and American Reset and 3 bourbons. And I'm looking to bring something this summer to the South Side. If there is a location where I could host 100, 200 friends that'll allow me to do the things that I do, send it my way, Tony@TonyKatz.com. I mean, I'm in the mood to book now. So let me know. And then, November, I'll tell you when to save the date. I promise you. You'll know. And you're going to have to dress up a little bit. Going to be fantastic. Not invited, Judge Boasberg. Because Judge Boasberg shouldn't be allowed on the bench, never mind at one of our parties. Probable cause exists to hold the Trump administration in contempt. You knock yourself out, kitten. You ordered planes turned around. Planes didn't turn around. Who orders planes to be turned around? How are they supposed to do that? How were they? Did they get the order while they were in mid-flight, or were they already on the ground? Never mind that. The order got overturned because Boasberg's order was predicated on the absolute nonsense idea that the President of the United States wasn't allowed to use the Alien Enemies Act, which, if you attend tonight, you're going to learn all about. Because this is, I think, one of the seminal moments of the first 100 days of President Trump. But Trump did declare, proclaimed is actually the word, that Tren de Aragua and the Maduro regime in Venezuela is an invading force. That's all you need. Everything is now in motion, and the president can utilize that to remove people. He did. Boasberg said you can't use the Alien Enemies Act. The Supreme Court said, of course the president can, you nonsense merchant. And now Boasberg wants to say, well, they're in contempt because they did not follow through on my order, and they haven't given me sufficient reason as to why they haven't. They don't have to give you sufficient reason for anything. There's legislation that's working its way to prevent these district judges from engaging in nationwide injunctions, because that's not their purview. Never mind that where this was filed is not in a place that can have anything to do with the case in question. That's the judge shopping we're talking about. That's the lawfare. This ties in to another story. That this guy, Kilmar Abrego Garcia, you took this Maryland man from his home and sent him to El Salvador. He got kidnapped. No, he didn't. He is in the country illegally, and everybody agrees to that. He has a standing deportation order, and everybody agrees with that. And some court in 2019 said you can't send him back to El Salvador. Why not? He's an El Salvadorian national. Well, there's a possibility he'll be harmed. By whom? Other gang members. Different gangs, which means he's a gang member. There's no proof that he's a gang member. That's all made up. We get into last night's reveal from the U.S. Attorney General, Pam Bondi. Good work. Evidence Wednesday supporting President Trump's claim that Abrego Garcia is a member of MS-13. Cops found him socializing with confirmed MS-13 gang members at a Maryland Home Depot in March of 2019. Following a March 28th incident in a place called Hyattsville, a source told the Hyattsville City Police that Abrego Garcia is an active member of MS-13. He had a gang name. Look, I have made the argument the other day, and I still think my argument holds. You bring him back, and of course you can get him back. And then you go about pushing aside, fighting this judge's order, saying you can't deport him to El Salvador, and then you send him back. Or you find another country willing to take him, and you send him there. He doesn't get to stay here. He's not some innocent dude. That much we know. But we've got senators, members of Congress that want to go to El Salvador and fight for this guy. This is what they fight for? The visual, man, is so brutal for them. So brutal. If there's an order saying you can't send him to El Salvador, I believe you got to follow the order. We could discuss that the order is unlawful. That you got to fight. It doesn't seem that the Trump administration at first did that. That's the problem. I mean, the problem is he was allowed into the country illegally. The problem is we've got an entire Democratic Party that's more interested in protecting him than the rights of American citizens unduly imprisoned because of January 6th. If you're fighting for this guy, but you didn't fight for the rights of a January 6th or American citizen, we're just going to push you to the side because you don't believe in the rule of law. You believe in your emotions, and my gosh, that can't go well. Matt Ferris got traffic. What are you doing, Matt?
Looking at westbound 70, it looks good going from downtown out to Indianapolis International Airport with Ronald Reagan Parkway and Ameriplex. Everything looking good if you're ride-sharing people out to the airport this morning. No troubles on 70 and 465 on the southwest side. Leading to 70 looks fantastic as well. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, see their large selection of grills, Weber, Traeger, and Napoleon, along with the Big Green Egg. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Hammer and Nigel show. Buy your tickets now to our Tales from the Track event. It's going to be awesome. And this afternoon, Rob Kendall flips out and goes off the rails. 93 WIBC.
Promises made, promises kept. Governor Mike Braun's bold leadership is already getting things done for Hoosiers. Governor Braun and State House Republicans are delivering massive property tax cuts. We're talking nearly $1.5 billion in relief. That's real money back in homeowners' pockets. But Braun didn't stop there. He cut local income tax capacity by nearly $2 billion and capped the local income tax rate to protect Hoosiers. And Braun led the fight to reform local government taxes, giving Hoosiers more say by requiring referendums be held in high-turnout elections. Thanks to Governor Braun and State House Republicans, your property taxes will be lower, future increases are reined in, and the system is now more transparent. Visit HoosierHope.org and let Governor Braun and Republican legislators know you support historic property tax cuts. Paid for by HoosierHope.org.
Well, given the troubles with the stock market today, your Social Security income becomes a lot more important in retirement. And that's why it's critical you make a smart decision and don't leave any money on the table. Learn how you can squeeze every nickel out of your benefits with a free Social Security analysis from Bill Demery, your retirement guy.
Bill Demery knows Social Security. He's done it for thousands of people, and he's my retirement guy. This analysis tells you how and when you could get the most income from Social Security while considering your taxes, spousal benefits, even your Medicare premiums. So if you've saved more than $200,000 and have not yet filed for Social Security, schedule that free analysis right now by calling Bill Demery. 317-648-5120. 317-648-5120. It's a free analysis. Just call 317-648-5120.
Hi, this is Chris Cox, owner of Chimney Solutions, Indiana. We're celebrating our 10th year in business. Call this month to take advantage of 10% off all chimney sweeps and inspections. We're also celebrating the opening of our new fireplace showroom on 86th Street and Lafayette Road. Come and experience our exclusive lines of wood-burning and gas fireplaces.
Call 317-757-6979 or chimneyindy.com. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, see their large selection of grills, Weber, Traeger, and Napoleon, along with the Big Green Egg.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
It'll be windy and warm, and then severe weather will move in. Nothing severe right now. Downtown, it's clear and cool, 42 degrees. On Monument Circle, 67 is the high today. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 6:30.
We're expecting wind gusts of 30 to 40 miles per hour just during the afternoon hours.
That's forecaster Andrew White at the National Weather Service talking about what will happen on Friday afternoon.
But then the focus shifts to that potential for severe weather as a cold front moves through during the overnight hours.
And White says the biggest threats Friday into Saturday are hail and damaging winds and tornadoes are possible. State leaders say Indiana is working to close a nearly $2.5 billion budget gap.
In the 21 years I've been here, I was here during the recession in 08 or 09 budget. This one scares me a lot more than that.
And Senator Ryan Mishler says all options are being considered for potential budget cuts. Mishler says Medicaid growth is slowing, which is about 30,000 fewer people expected on the rolls right now. Over 2 million Hoosiers still rely on Medicaid. Leaders from Japan and the United States are talking about tariffs, says White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt.
It speaks volumes about the number of countries we have seen come to the table, reaching out to this administration to cut deals.
And she tells Fox News that President Trump has issued several exemptions to the tariffs, including electronics. Love, loss, and family stories come together in Netflix's new show, Ransom Canyon.
Josh Duhamel stars as Stanton Kirkland, a widowed rancher fighting to protect his land, while Minka Kelly plays Quinn O'Grady, a returning hometown heroine looking to start over. Their slow burn romance anchors the series.
There's this moment where you turned and you looked at me, and I felt it.
Alongside a mix of cowboys, lovers, and secrets, blending old school Western vibes with modern heat.
And that's Fox's Michelle Polino reporting. And Amazon is testing its self-driving taxis in Los Angeles. A few of the cars with backup drivers are going to start mapping the city. The goal is to begin driverless trips later this summer. LA is the 6th city using the driverless taxis. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the Level on the Go and at WIBC.com. Traffic, weather, and sports in 3 minutes. It's 6:32.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio. I'm Gary Dick. A company in the small northern Indiana town of Upland is making a big impact in outer space, and Taylor University students are helping with the mission. Dr. Hank Voss co-founded Near Space Launch in 1994 when he moved from California to Upland to teach engineering and physics at Taylor. To date, NSL has sent up 111 satellites, including 3 just last month.
We're able to draw also some great talent from this area, from Taylor and the other universities around us. And so we've got Notre Dame and Purdue and some other great colleges, and Ball State and IWU. And so we're excited to keep collaborating with all these universities as we develop that.
A new report from the Indiana Association of Realtors shows new home sales in March rose 7% compared to the same month last year. New pending home sales totaled more than 7,800 across the state, which is also a 30% jump compared to February. Florida-based L3 Harris Technologies has cut the ribbon on a $125 million expansion of its Fort Wayne operations. The project is designed to support the company's missile defense and weather programs. The expansion also expected to create 50 new jobs with average annual salaries of over $100,000. Cherville is the latest Northwest Indiana community to explore a designated area where alcohol can be purchased and consumed. The town council voted last week to establish a designated outdoor refreshment area, or DORA, for the downtown district. You're listening to Inside Indiana Business Radio.
At Indiana University, we're undaunted by challenge. We take the lead. We don't follow the crowd. Embracing the future with creativity and bravery. Unapologetically optimistic. Equipped with the knowledge and intention to change the world. Because bold is who we are. 9 campuses, 1 purpose. Creating tomorrow, today. Indiana University. Bring on tomorrow. Join us at iu.edu.
Indiana's regions are as diverse as the businesses that power them. Discover what's possible for your community at the Innovate Indiana series, presented by Indiana University and Old National Bank. We're hitting 9 regions to explore business expansion and attraction, workforce, entrepreneurship and innovation, and Indiana's tech hubs. First stop, Southwest Indiana, April 29th at the University of Evansville. Hear from Secretary of Education Katie Jenner and local leaders. Reserve your seat at ibj.com/innovate. A local developer is weighing plans for a data center campus in rural Hancock County that could occupy nearly 800 acres east of Indianapolis Regional Airport. The county's Plan Commission will next week consider a request from Shelbyville-based Surge Development LLC, which is asking for a zoning change and variances for a development that would mostly center on data center uses. This is Gary Dick for 93 WIBC.
All right, have you been hitting me up about this? Top 11 Road between Meridian and Shelby, that closure, that's supposed to reopen tomorrow, okay? Shut down for utility work, and the scheduled reopening date is Friday, April 18th. Again, that's Top 11 Road at Shelby Street. Everything else looking pretty good right now, man. Northbound 65 slows out the north split to West Street. Outside of that, wide open, moving up to speed. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, see their large selection of grills, Weber, Traeger, and Napoleon, along with the Big Green Egg. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
What do we got here? 42 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 6:36. We check on sports. Ryan Hedrick, what's happening?
Tony, what's up? The NBA playoffs start Saturday, and the Indiana Pacers tip it off against the Milwaukee Bucks. Ben Mathurin, who missed last year's run with an injury, says he is ready to go.
I was in a sling. It's bringing cookies to the plane. That's what I was doing. But now it's really like everything I wish I could have done last year, I can do it now. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just grateful to go out there with my team and just bringing my impact to the game.
Put your money down. The Pacers are 5.5-point favorites. Game 1 with the Bucks tips off at 1 o'clock. Saturday's game will be on ESPN. The network says Indiana Fever head coach Stephanie White will join play-by-play announcer Michael Grady, who used to have a show across the hall. Major League Baseball, the San Diego Padres beat the Chicago Cubs 4-2. The Mariners beat the Reds 5-3. Sports brought to you by Ball State Athletics. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level on the go and at WIBC.com.
Applied Innovation has made a lot of IT directors happy with their managed print services offering. Listen to a few of them talk about Applied Innovation. Chris Pfeiffer, IT Director for Doran Mayhew.
So we were able to reduce the number of machines that we use, but increase their capacity. And then basically we cut our managed print services bill in half by doing that.
Applied Innovation customer Linda Philly Watson, Director of IT at LaSalle Bristol.
The devices are well managed, they're well maintained, well supported, and that's less time for me. More time for me to spend on other projects, on other priorities.
Applied Innovation customer Craig Gilliam, IT Director for Suncoast Skin Solutions.
I think it's just the simplicity of everything. They're quick, fast, and so if you need any help, they're on the spot.
Applied Innovation, office technology made simple, backed by a partner you can trust. Call Applied Innovation today, 800-521-0983, or visit appliedinnovation.com.
As a high school student athlete, it makes a difference when the stands are filled with cheering fans. I'm Reed Robinson from New Prairie High School.
And I'm Autumn Rife from North White High School. It motivates us to do our best when we know our entire school community has our backs.
When they understand the real purpose of high school sports.
When they remember learning life lessons is more important than winning.
When they keep athletic events fun and positive for everyone.
That's what being a champion of high school sports is all about.
Whether you're a parent, fan, coach, official, administrator, or broadcaster, we all have a role to play in championing high school sports.
Thank you for supporting our schools, our communities, and our student athletes.
I'm IHSAA Commissioner Paul Neidig. Support the mission of education-based athletics by buying a ticket to your high school's athletic events. This is being a champion of high school sports. This is preserving the second classroom. This is your IHSAA.
Damon's Garden Center West has trees, shrubs, vegetables, flowers, hanging baskets, plus garden and landscape supplies and knowledgeable staff. Damon's West on Rockville Road.
The Attorney General's office wants to put your money back in your pocket. Visit indianaunclaimed.gov and search for yourself, your loved ones, or your business. It's fast, easy, and free.
I know she said it's all right.
The month of May would not be complete without tales from the track. Hammer and Nigel will be entertaining you for the evening with Graham Rahal. The story is there at WIBC.com. Me, I'm Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. Good to be with you. Presented by Relay Indiana. Hammer and Nigel, the interview, the commentary from Graham Rahal, the highs and the lows, behind-the-scenes moments, and if it's Hammer and Nigel, there are going to be some embarrassing stories that they pull out of this man, and you can be there, and it's going to be a good time. Tickets are now on sale right there at WIBC.com. You want to get your tickets, and tomorrow they're at Coach's Tavern, right? Right, I'm tonight. They are tomorrow. And I believe Kendall and Casey by Tuesday will be seen in an asylum. So everyone's very busy. Incredibly busy. Over here. I had some audio yesterday that I did not get to for the morning show. Especially this from Katy Perry after not going into space.
I hope they can see the unity that we modeled and replicate that and understand that we weren't just taking up space, we were making space for the future. And for me, like Gail said, this wasn't a ride, it wasn't a destination, it was a journey. And
white liberal women are insufferable. Can someone please make that a t-shirt? That must be sold. And you're telling me, Tony, Gayle King is not white. Okay, liberal women are insufferable. Whatever, however you want to describe it. But I'm willing to go the full Monty. Oh, Katy Perry, you understand how little this matters. You didn't do anything spectacular. Cool. You did something cool, even if it wasn't full orbit. And you are still in this. There's a line that's passed where you're kind of not in our atmosphere. I don't know, in the gray. I don't know what they would call that. What do you call that when you're not alive, you're not dead, you're like in limbo? What do they call that? There's a term for it. I can't think of it right now. Good. Right, that's basically where they flew to. And cool and fun and all that jazz. But it wasn't historic. It wasn't some deep journey. Stop it. Cool. You're like, I can't believe I got to do that. That's amazing. That's also how people feel when they go to the Grand Canyon. Not special. Gayle King, she's upset that people aren't taking this more seriously. You're not special. Your entire career comes from, oh, this is my friend Oprah. Not special. Although, admittedly, she opened all the doors. You did walk through them. I mean, respect. Gosh, insufferable. Whole thing is totally insufferable. You took something cool and you're like, don't you know how important we are? How important this is for women? If you want to do something important for women, admit that men can't be women and protect women in sports. Start there, Katy Perry. Otherwise, could you just stop? It's silly. And if Katy Perry is a role model to your daughters, you need to do a better job as a parent. I know that's cold, but this? Put the foot down with this. Would you please? Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning.
Make this your year. Looking for a new career in the high-demand fields of IT, cybersecurity, and AI? Attend classes live online or on campus. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. Financial aid is available to those who qualify.
It's spring cleaning, which includes studying up your investments. And that means a second opinion on your investments from the fiduciary advisors at Trajan Wealth. Trajan Wealth knows one size does not fit all when it comes to your portfolio and are ready to work with you to get to know you in designing a fully customized investment strategy that's tailored to your hopes and dreams. Call 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com to schedule your first consultation. It's free. At Trajan Wealth, smart investing means having a good plan for the future, which means to smarter investments, and that means growth while protecting your future. Call and schedule a consultation at 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com. Remember, your first appointment is on them. Tell them Matt Bear sent you. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Paid advertisement.
Traffic on the 5s and Matt Bear, what's happening?
Looking at northbound 65 in Boone County, that is stop traffic. After 865 up to Whitestown Parkway, we are working on a cause right now. Also, northbound 65 slow out of the north split to West Street. Also has a slowdown that comes with it on northbound 6570 from Ohio Street. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, get 30% off all patio furniture, wicker, Berlin Gardens, poly, cast aluminum, teak, and more. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
We have got 42 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 6:46.
Attention. If you suffer from consistent pain in your joints caused by arthritis, overuse, or injury, you may be a candidate for a revolutionary therapy that could revitalize damaged tissue. This approach can provide long-lasting relief from pain in your knees, shoulders, hips, and other joints with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. To find out if you're a viable candidate, you may request a free consultation from QC Kinetics by calling 463-251-1912. Instead of masking the symptoms, it goes to the root of the problem to resolve it at its source. Already used by thousands of satisfied patients nationwide, this joint pain therapy is available right now to the public, but only for qualified candidates. Again, to find out if you're a viable candidate for this therapy, you may request a free consultation by calling QC Kinetics at 463-251-1912. That's 463-251-1912.
Indiana patients rely on many types of pharmacies to access their medications and critical healthcare services. But a proposal being considered in the Indiana legislature called SB 140 would disrupt access to medications for Indiana patients. SB 140 would impose government mandates blocking access to critical pharmacy options and services in Indiana. Lost access to pharmacy options would directly harm many of Indiana's most vulnerable patients, including patients fighting cancer and heart disease, many of whom rely on specialty pharmacies for their care. SB 140 would even hike costs for Indiana patients by imposing a $10 tax on every prescription filled in the state. That would often fall directly on the patient. Tell your state legislator, protect access to medications, reject higher costs. Put Indiana patients first by voting no on SB 140. Paid for by conservatives for lower healthcare costs.
Come enjoy this beautiful spring weather at Sundown Gardens in Westfield. The Garden Center has a huge selection of high-quality annuals, tropicals, trees, and shrubs. The spring blooms are filling up the nursery lot, and the greenhouse has what you need to beautify your porch and landscape. Easter decor is 50% off in Miss Mary's gift shop through Saturday. Visit Sundown Gardens for all things home and landscape this spring. Sundown Gardens at 186th Street and Spring Mill Road in Westfield, closed on Easter.
Think of it as WIBC on 2x speed. Big opinions, great moments, and just enough chaos. The WIBC Mashup Podcast brings it all together in one fast, fun listen. New episode each weekday. Subscribe wherever you get your podcast.
Well, I was going to share with you some audio from Robert F. Kennedy, but I didn't think it was playing right, which stinks. I'll figure out a way to make it work. Tony Katz 93 WIBC, good morning. It was a statement yesterday that we are going to find the basis for autism.
And within 3 weeks, and probably we're hoping 2 weeks, we're going to announce a series of new studies.
You can't hear it? I'll figure it out. He made an argument, a statement that I question how people are going to take, that we look at autism as something that is genetic. No, it's something that's environmental. And his argument is we're looking at it wrong. We've been studying it wrong. We've been engaged with it wrong. We need to recognize that this is environmental. He referred to it as possibly a toxin. Now, this all comes from his statement during the cabinet meeting. Was this earlier this week or was this last week? Where he said by September, our plan is to be able to tell you, Mr. President, the basis of autism. That's one heck of a thing to say. He also referred to the fact that it's an epidemic. I'm curious how that is taken. Because, look, he was not my choice and not my guy. That is for political reasons and his political history. I want him nowhere near the cabinet, Trump's ear on anything. I am not so sure he is removed from his green days of, if you don't believe in environmental this, that, and the other, we should throw you in jail. I have no reason to believe that his conversations that I have heard with my own ears regarding wealth redistribution and taxes, I have no reason to believe that that still isn't the way he is. None. But this on the dyes and kids' health, I always said let them go. Let's see where we get to. It's an interesting concept. I don't know how it works out medically. This idea of we're dealing with an epidemic.
In 2009, the California state legislature charged the Mind Institute at UC Davis with because this myth was already becoming pervasive, the myth of epidemic denial was already becoming pervasive in the mainstream media. The California legislature directed the Mind Institute at UC Davis to answer the question. And Irva Hertz-Pichotto is a highly esteemed, revered scientist, neurology, and epidemiologist, came back with a definitive answer. The epidemic is real. Only a very, very small portion of it can be changed to can be charged to better recognition or better diagnostic criteria. I want to say a couple of other things.
We'll get to that. If you're asking, what do I think? I have no idea. Whether it's genetic or it's environmental. What I like here is the idea of we've been going down this road, and this road is not getting us a result, but we're seeing more and more kids have this issue. That's his argument. And I think that certainly we have a lot of kids with this issue. I do not know if it's more pervasive now than it was 5 years ago. There's the CDC data, and then some people say, well, that data may not be accurate. It's the CDC. I'll take anything with a grain of salt. What I like is the idea of maybe there is another cause. Maybe there is something else to look at. Maybe we shouldn't be shut out of a conversation, of ideas. That's the part I like. I concern myself if it gives people, quote unquote, false hope. But finding a rationale, a basis, a reason, that'd be a nice start. Matt Bear has traffic. What's up, Matthew?
Northbound 65 slows coming out of the North Split out to West Street. And on the far northwest side, this is going to be Boone County near Whitestown. Northbound 65 loaded up from A65 to Dogleg up to County Road 550 South. Everything else looking okay here at the moment. Watch that clear path construction zone as you make your way around the northeast side here this morning. Northbound 465 good to go at the moment from Penn Pike up to Allisonville Road. Southbound lanes, including the peel-off from I-69, looking good down to East 56th Street. No struggles up there at the moment. By the way, that redesign on the northeast side of 465 and I-69, the interchange, that is supposed to be done at the end of the year with particular matter construction going on. Until then, yeah, there's going to be more. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden this week. As Sullivan Hardware and Garden, see their large selection of grills, Weber, Traeger, and Napoleon, along with the Big Green Egg. I'm Matt Bear on the 5 is at WIBC Traffic.
It's Hammer and Nigel for Window Nation. April's a great time to spruce up around the house, like getting rid of those old, ugly, drafty, hard-to-open windows and starting fresh, especially during Window Nation's Buy 4, Get 4 free sale going on now through April 30th. And if you buy a house full of windows, they'll include a free entry door, too. Plus, with 0% financing, 0 down, and no monthly payments, you could get new windows and pay nothing until 2027.
Window Nation partners with top window manufacturers in the nation to build windows to their high-quality specs. Then they pass those savings on to you. You'll protect your home with some of the best windows you can buy at a fraction of the price of some of those other brands. This sale ends April 30th. Do not miss your chance to take advantage of the Buy 4, Get 4 for free deal, and you don't pay anything until 2027. Schedule that estimate right now at 866-90-NATION or go to windownation.com.
At Diamonds Direct, our experts go the extra mile to ensure you have the tools to say I do with absolute confidence. Our promise to you is a completely risk-free shopping experience rooted in transparency, education, and integrity. No pressure, no intimidation, just clarity and confidence in your purchase. But we're about more than just price. Everything is backed by our exclusive guarantees. Put our tools to the test against any competitor, and our expert staff will ensure you get the very best overall value and unforgettable experience. Learn more at DiamondsDirect.com. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion.
It's the Bash Sale, the biggest automotive sale in history. Your local Bill Estes dealerships are coming in hot with deals on trucks you don't want to miss. We have a huge selection of trucks at one easy online stop. Brand new Chevy, Ford, GMC, Jeep, Ram, and Toyota trucks with a massive pre-owned selection too. Plus, our fair and direct upfront pricing means what you see is what you pay. Shift into savings during the Bash Sale, only at Bill Estes dealerships, and drive away in your dream truck today. Online at BillEstesTrucks.com.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where Indiana Foundation Service comes in, a groundworks company. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation. Schedule your free inspection at indianafoundation.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for detail.
It's tax season, and at LifeLock, we know you're tired of numbers. But this one you need to hear. $16.5 billion. That's how much money in refunds the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud last year. Now, here's a good number. $100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed. Oh, one last number. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit LifeLock.com for the threats you can't control. Terms apply.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Mike, I think I saw a fox on my way in.
Oh, that was the Carfax Carfox. He was congratulating us on our Carfax Top-Rated Service Center Award.
I have always rated Tire Discounters at the very top.
Oh, thanks. So does Carfax. And not just for tires, but for all our services, too.
Alignment, brakes, shocks, and struts, and more.
Yes, sir.
But, Mike, do you think people believe Carfax over me?
Well, you are the Phantom tire buyer.
Exactly.
You've set your financial goals. One kid plans to go Big Ten, the other Ivy. Your bucket list includes seaside sunrises and sunsets on the slopes, or perhaps a second home away from it all. Busey Bank can help develop the right investment strategy to take charge of the years ahead. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Member FDIC.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recyclers Studios, severe weather is headed your way. I'll give you a timeline, what political leaders are saying about the latest revenue forecast, and what IMPD is saying about 3 people shot. After Fox News, you're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis on a Thursday morning. It's clear and cool, and it's 7 o'clock.
The fight over deporting migrants continues. Gianna Gelosi, Fox News. Maryland Senator Chris Van Hollen traveled to El Salvador to push for the release of Kilmar Abrego Garcia, but was turned away by the country's vice president.
Democratic Senator Chris Van Hollen met with El Salvador's vice president to push for the release of Kilmar Abrego Garcia. Garcia's lawyers have repeatedly denied their client had any gang affiliation, but the Trump administration says otherwise. The mother of Rachel Morin, a Maryland mother of 5 who was killed by a fugitive from El Salvador, slammed Senator Van Hollen's trip. She said, "Why can he use my taxpayer money to fly to El Salvador to bring someone back that's not even an American citizen?" She also said, "Why does that person have more rights than my daughter or grandchildren?"
That's Fox's Christina Coleman. This, as we learn, Abrego Garcia's wife filed a protective order against him 4 years ago, but didn't move forward with the case. Separately, a federal judge, James Boasberg, announced that he found probable cause to hold members of the Trump administration in criminal contempt for defying his order to return planes full of suspected gang members.
U.S. District Judge James Boasberg says he has given Trump administration officials ample opportunity to explain their actions and that their responses have been unsatisfactory. He writes in this order, quote, "The court ultimately determines that the government's actions on that day demonstrate a willful disregard for its order, sufficient for the court to conclude that probable cause exists to find the government in criminal contempt." This is all over the administration's failure to return planes that left for El Salvador full of alleged gang members in mid-March. Boasberg says if the Justice Department refuses to answer his next questions, he will refer the matter for prosecution.
And that's Fox's Rich Edson. Meanwhile, last night, Trump criticized another judge's decision blocking efforts to revoke legal status for thousands of migrants, writing they seem to hate Trump so much that anything goes. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
All hazards are on the table. Your radar is clear in downtown Indianapolis, where it's 44 degrees. Your high today, 68. I'm Ryan Hedrick for Window Nation. Here's what's trending at 7:02.
Anytime you can get hail greater than 2 inches, that's where you're going to start seeing the more widespread damage, and it can be a little more significant.
That's forecaster Andrew White at the National Weather Service Indianapolis talking about large hail and damaging winds being the main concern for severe weather moving in Friday.
We always want people to know exactly where to go in their home whenever we have severe weather. That's going to be very important, especially these storms can move in pretty quick, so you may not have a lot of time to think about it.
He says there's a small chance for tornadoes, but they're always a possibility during severe weather season. Slower tax growth has opened a $2 billion hole in Indiana's next budget. Jake McDaniel looks at what's behind the drop in revenue.
Slower job growth and drops in corporate profits are bringing down tax income, and that is leaving Indiana over $2 billion short through 2027. Lawmakers say having over $2.5 billion in reserve on paper won't be enough. For now, while education cuts aren't the first choice, they're not completely ruled out. Jake McDaniel, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
3 people were shot on Indianapolis' east side Thursday.
You'll see detectives going door to door trying to gather information, look for any video footage, any witness statements.
IMPD officer Drew Brown says all 3 people are in bad shape. The shooting happened in the middle of the afternoon along North Irvington Avenue. The state would eventually save more than $1 million if the General Assembly votes to eliminate some judges and magistrate positions Chris Davis breaks it all down.
It's not exactly how Doge would do it. A formula that looks at how many cases a county has compared to how many judges there are has been used to determine judges and magistrates can be sacked in 11 counties. But it's not final. The bill was passed Wednesday in the state Senate, and it now goes back to the House, where they can accept it or try for more negotiations. Chris Davis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
State Senate interns were recognized Wednesday for their hard work during this year's legislative session.
Each year, our interns play an important role in the legislative process, assisting members with policy research, constituent concerns, bill tracking, communications, and much more.
And these interns are from colleges and universities around Indiana. A change was announced Wednesday for the Indiana Pacers G League team. Here's John Herrick.
If you've listened to any Indiana Pacers game on the radio over the years, you might have heard former Pacers coach and radio commentator Slick Leonard say this.
Boom, baby!
The Indiana Pacers are rebranding their G League team to honor that phrase by going from the Indiana Mad Ants to the Noblesville Boom.
We are thrilled to tip off an exciting new era for our G League team, the Noblesville Boom, while honoring the legacy and global brand power of the Indiana Pacers.
Pacer Sports and Entertainment CEO Mel Rain says this is a modern take on the familiar basketball that has defined the Pacers for decades. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
And I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level on the go and at WIBC.com at 7:05. Traffic on the fives. How the roads looking, Matt Bear?
Problems in Boone County, Whitestown. First off, the ramp from northbound 65 to County Road 550 South Meadowview is shut down because of police activity. They also snagged the right lane of the main part of northbound 65 at County Road 550 South. This has caused a backup back to the dog leg for a 13-minute delay. That's a backup to 865 exit 129. Also looking at Stop 11 Road, shut down both the directions at Shelby Street. That's been going on for utility work, and it should be done tomorrow. Traffic sponsored by Indiana Foundation Service. Is water damaging your home? Contact Indiana Foundation Service, the basement concrete foundation experts. Get your free inspection today. Learn more at indianafoundationservice.com. Licensed in all states where work is performed. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the fives. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Tara Hastings, Wish TV meteorologist, what's going on?
Look for partly cloudy skies later this afternoon. There is a very slight chance we may see a few spotty showers here or there. I wouldn't cancel any plans, though. Highs today near 65. Tonight, mainly cloudy with lows falling into the mid-50s. On Friday, we're going to start off with sunshine. It is going to be a really windy day. We could see winds gusting 30, 35 miles per hour. We'll get up to 78 degrees. Now, there is going to be a chance of thunderstorms late Friday night during the overnight hours. Some of those could be on the stronger side. And then soggy conditions all weekend long. Heavy rain possible on Saturday, 69. And some more showers, maybe a few thunderstorms on Sunday with highs in the upper 60s.
That is Tara Hastings right there of Wish TV. Tara, thank you. 41 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 7:07.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Damon's Garden Company South on Emerson Avenue.
Jerome Powell letting the markets know we're cool with where interest rates are. We don't have to rush. We don't have to move anything. Not at all. I think we just stick right here for a little bit. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. He gives a speech in Chicago, Economic Club of Chicago, and people are like, "Yeah, this is not nice. This is not a happy speech. This is maybe a little bit political." Depending on who you are. Meanwhile, markets fall. Yesterday, right now, the Dow futures are down over 400, but NASDAQ futures are up. And NASDAQ was rough yesterday because of NVIDIA and the chip maker, the problem that they were having. I thought this was the interesting one, that the CEO of Target is meeting with Al Sharpton to discuss the DEI rollback. If I could, to the CEO, Brian Cornell. I think you should say to Al Sharpton, "Hey, glad you're here. We're rolling back all that nonsense. Screw you and the horse you rode in on. By the way, we're thinking about designing a line of suits for people who want to be race hustlers their entire life. You in? That's what I'd like to see. That would be good marketing right there. Not interested in your DEI garbage. What do you think of suits for race hustlers? Right, they're reversible. Adidas tracksuit on one side, Armani suit on the other after you make the money. What? From the race hustle. I'm sorry, are we not going to discuss the history of Al Sharpton? The learning from Jesse Jackson? Read the book Shakedown. Hoo-hee. He is what he is. He has a show on MSNBC. For what reason? His intellectual and interviewing prowess? No, that's what they wanted, right? That's what they wanted, because that's what it's about. It's about what it is the network wants, right? Why does IBC have me? Why does anybody have anybody? It's what they want. It's what they're looking for. Sure. I just know how he has made his entire career. I won't forget Freddie's Fashion Mart. Won't forget Tawana Brawley. Why the CEO of Target would meet with this guy is beyond comprehension. Also, if I could put this in the category of beyond comprehension, I want the Indy 500 to be a massive success. I want people all over the place. I want record attendance. I want everybody listening to the race on WIBC. Cannot wait to do the pre-race coverage. I cannot wait to make that happen. Really looking forward to it. It'll be me, JMV, out there, Pagoda Plaza. Come by and say hello on race day. Rob Gronkowski is going to be the Indy 500 Coors Light Snake Pit Grand Marshal. That's deflating. See what I did there? See what I did? Come on, that's good. Stayed up all night with that one. You picked a Patriot? Seriously? Doug Bowles, Mark Miles, come on now. The only thing that I think is good about it, he's absolutely going to be out there just as drunk as everybody else. Blotto in the snake pit. I mean, enjoying his beverages responsibly and having a good time at the Indianapolis 500. Just in case the captain's listening. He's the Grand Marshal. I think that means he's in charge of being somebody who wears pants to model good behavior. And the Snake Pit. Get your tickets. It's gonna be a nutty weekend. It's gonna be a good time. I will be there. You will be there. I probably won't be in the Snake Pit though. I have not done the Snake Pit yet. I should do the Snake Pit. I should broadcast from the Snake Pit. Full suit, cigar, broadcasting from the Snake Pit. Challenge accepted. Do you think they would accept me, or would they eat me alive? I'm not sure how it would go. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning.
Well, given the troubles with the stock market today, your Social Security income becomes a lot more important in retirement. And that's why it's critical you make a smart decision and don't leave any money on the table. Learn how you can squeeze every nickel out of your benefits with a free Social Security analysis from Bill Demery, your retirement guy.
Bill Demery knows Social Security. He's done it for thousands of people, and he's my retirement guy. This analysis tells you how and when you could get the most income from Social Security while considering your taxes, spousal benefits, even your Medicare premiums. So if you've saved more than $200,000 and have not yet filed for Social Security, schedule that free analysis right now by calling Bill Demery. 317-648-5120. 317-648-5120. It's a free analysis. Just call 317-648-5120.
From a fast break to recovery, Indiana hospitals are here for every Hoosier, regardless of their ability to pay. That's why we're teaming up with legislators on a winning playbook to lower costs and protect access to care across our communities. because good policy doesn't leave anyone on the sidelines. Learn more at HoosierLifeline.com.
Paid for by the Indiana Hospital Association.
What up, fellow Gen Xers? Elizabeth Banks here. As the original Latchkey kids, we took things into our own hands, like house keys and video game controllers. And now it's time for us to do it again, because the recommended age to get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia has been lowered to 50 and older, even if you're healthy. We're at over 6 times greater risk compared to adults under 50. So go to vaxassist.com and schedule. Gen X, this is our shot. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This is Joe Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the nation's largest family law firm, but we're more than just size. We're part of your community. With offices across the country, our attorneys and staff live and work right where you do. And because we're local, we know your courts, your laws, and your legal community. When divorce puts your future on the line, you need a firm that's both powerful and personal. Call Cordell & Cordell.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Indianapolis area attorneys. 101 West Ohio Street, Suite 1250, Indianapolis, Indiana 46204.
Traffic on the 5s. Matt Bear, what are you doing?
Boone County northbound 65 jammed up. 865 up to County Road 550 south. Because of police activity in the right lane. Also, the exit to County Road 550 south. Meadowview is shut down. The police have that closed here at the moment. No timetable on when everything's going to reopen. Eastbound 465 on the south side slows Emerson Avenue over to Arlington Avenue. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
We've got 41 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 7:16. Moment brought to you by Boer Remodeling, B-O-O-H-E-R, BoerRemodeling.com. That is where you want to be when it's time to make that kitchen work for you and your family. You need to have a new look. You need to have a new feel, or really you want that. What you need is a kitchen that works for you, a kitchen that works for your growing family, a kitchen that has, well, all the modern conveniences, because right now it doesn't. That could be the way you feel. Boer Remodeling is there to help. They do the work, their entire process, from that initial consultation to that final bit of construction, the best materials, the most skilled craftsmen in Central Indiana, the highest quality brand names you know and trust. Talk to Boer Remodeling about your kitchen, about your bathroom, and of course you should also talk to them about taking that basement and turning it into something that works for you, that new home theater. It's all possible with Boer Remodeling. Talk to them today. 317-852-5546. Tell them Tony Katz sent you. 317-852-5546. 852-5546 or online at Boer, B-O-O-H-E-R, BoerRemodeling.com. The popcorn moment. Let's go, let's go, let's go. It's the story you need to hear to believe, then grab your popcorn because there is more. I don't quite understand what I have done that I can't play this for you. So, producer Carl, I just sent it to you. Now, this is a very long conversation I had with Dr. Matt Will, economist at the University of Indianapolis. Last night, because I reached out to him and said, "Hey, what are your thoughts on the property taxes?" And he said, "Oh, I have thoughts." I'm like, "I want to hear the thoughts." The problem is, I'm trying to play the thoughts right here, and it's just coming out ridiculous. This new tax. Oh, now it works. That was so weird. Listen. Dr. Matt Will is an economist at the University of Indianapolis. I'm very excited. And I discuss the taxes with him. If you didn't understand what was happening with property taxes, he breaks it down and discusses the fact that people who think that this is going to create value for Hoosiers are either kidding themselves or not being honest. Talking about this new tax legislation, the property tax argument continues, but it's over. It's been signed into law. It's SB 1, Senate Bill 1. It'll cap annual increases in property taxes for all property types, including homesteads, to 3%. Well, that was the plan, right? Or is that the plan now? But now you've got municipalities and cities that can raise taxes, or can they only raise taxes if they pass a vote of the people in that city or municipality? Or is there something else? Everything is indeed confusing. And the idea that this is somehow a panacea is as weird as the idea that Braun's first piece of legislation, the basic idea, the original concept that he said he would fight for, was a panacea. Let us stop being people talking about things we don't know about, and let's be people who talk about things that we do know about. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. Dr. Matt Will joins us, economist at the University of Indianapolis. This started with a simple text. Hey, what do you think of this new property tax plan? Dr. Will, University of Indianapolis. What do you think of this new property tax plan for Indiana?
I think it's an absolute mess. It's a political boondoggle. It's going to add tons of money still to the coffers of the state, and taxpayers will suffer. Taxpayers who are homeowners, they worked their whole life and most of their wealth is in their home, this is not good for them. They can still suffer because the taxes are not going to be capped. This is not a cap, Tony. Let's talk about what it is. It's not a cap, and I'll explain.
So let's start with the basics. What is it that Braun, in your view, offered up? What is it that Braun then signed all these months later?
Okay, that's the great question. His original proposal was a 3% cap on annual increases. So let's take the average home in Indiana. The average home in Indiana pays $2,270 a year in property taxes. He would have capped it at $68 increase. That's 3%. I think everyone in this world would agree that the government can live on 3% more money every year. That was his proposal. It was thrown out. Here's what we got. No limit. There is no limit to the amount that your property tax bill can go up. I'm talking it could double. It could be $400, $500, $600, $700. It can go up. But in exchange, you get a credit. But the credit's capped at $300. So there's an example of a family in Greenwood that I've read about. Their property tax bill doubled. It went up almost $800 in 1 year. Well, that poor family, I'm sorry, they have to pay almost the entire $400. Or $800. This is ridiculous. This is not a cap. It's a token gesture to make people happy. But I understand why the governor signed it.
So the compromise that was allowed by the Senate and the House was throw out the original idea, which you seem to be very, very okay with that original idea.
Yeah, it's still an increase. It's a 3% increase per year. Why should government grow more than 3% a year?
Well, they'll tell you, as they did, we have services, everything is going up in cost, we're going to have to cut these services. I don't think everybody was as, if you allow these tax caps, the entire city is going to fall apart and no city is going to grow. I mean, there was a lot of that kind of doomsdaying out there because people do what they do to fit their narrative and their persona. Now, you could argue that that's fear-mongering. How would you have responded to those people who said that?
You know what? It's fear-mongering because they're still getting more money. The city of Fort Wayne, let's pick on Fort Wayne for an example. Under the bill that was passed, they're still going to get a 12% increase over 3 years. They're still going to get 12% more of your money over 3 years. How can it be doomsday if the government gets 12% more money?
Wait, was that 12%
on a budget?
So that's not 12% more under the original plan of Braun. That's 12% more under the signed law now.
Yes, under the current plan, they will get 12% more money. Under the Braun plan, the maximum they could have got would have been 9% more. I think it's reasonable. It's okay if government can live on 3% more per year. We all do. Why is government requiring more money to live on than we need to live on? It's just taking money out of your pockets, the people that are supposed to be your bosses, which is the citizens.
Talking to Dr. Matt Will, economist at the University of Indianapolis. So there is no cap on the property tax. But I thought before I got to Indiana, there was Governor Mitch Daniels and it was property cap taxes and everything was going to be right with the world. What happened?
Well, okay. Mitch Daniels, who was, in my opinion, an amazing governor, put a cap of 1% on residential property taxes. That's correct. We have a 1% cap, but there's a loophole. The politicians in the state capitol have found a loophole, and that is just increase the value of your home. So, Tony, your home could triple or quadruple in value, and your tax bill would triple or quadruple. There is no limit to the amount of increase in taxes you could pay because of the loophole, which is the value of your home. So it is true there's a cap of 1%, and that's fantastic. I'm so glad it's in the Constitution of our state. But it doesn't limit the amount of the increase in your assessed value.
The assessed value comes from your local municipality. It doesn't come from the state, right?
No, that's correct. Well, it's an appraisal, and it's adjusted every few years. So it comes from the appraisal. Who does it really is not important. It's what your house is supposed to be worth minus a homestead credit.
So I like you, believe that property taxes in and of themselves are immoral. The idea that I do not own what I own is an absolute obscenity, and I believe in the eradication of all property taxes. There are other ways to fund a city, municipalities, schools, etc. But now let's get into what it is we have. The new system says there's no cap, even though there's a constitutional cap, because you can increase the values, and it gives you a $300 credit. Is that every year? Does that grow over time? Talk to me about that credit that comes back to you and how one achieves it.
Okay, first of all, that's the maximum credit you get. It's a 10% credit, which I think is decent. It starts in 2026. It doesn't start today, and it's capped at $300. So depending on what your home is worth, you're not going to get that big of a credit. So this family in Greenwood that I said went up to $1,500, which is not a very valuable house. I mean, think about it. At a 1% cap, that's like a $150,000 house. They would still have to have paid $500 of the $800 increase. That's still a significant amount. So the cap that you mentioned, that's the maximum credit you can get is $300.
And that maximum credit, wait, hold. The maximum credit is predicated on what? That what is something we will get into in the next hour. The full interview with Dr. Matt will be available at WIBC.com. He ain't done. I'll share that with you coming up at 8:15. Right now, Matt Bear has traffic.
Boone County northbound 65 stop and go traffic from West 86th Street up to County Road 550 south because of police activity. I'm told that's cleared. Northbound 465 on the northwest side slow. 86th Street up to 865. Northbound 65 out of the north split stop and go traffic to west. Inbound 69 slows from 106th Street to 82nd. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, see their large selection of grills, Weber, Traeger, and Napoleon, along with the Big Green Egg. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, get 30% off all patio furniture, wicker, Berlin Gardens, poly, cast aluminum, teak, and more.
Your new tree is at Circle City Trees, and if you say to me, did you just say new tree? Absolutely. I did. You need shade for that back patio. You need a little bit of privacy from that very odd neighbor. Circle City Trees are the people to talk to right there in Zionsville. 317-768-3005. They sell trees that thrive in Indiana. A large selection of mature trees, evergreens, shade trees, fruit trees, ornamental trees, flowering trees, and they do everything. They take care of the installation, and they've got the mulching down pat and a 1-year warranty. It's about making your backyard look great, or your front yard look great, or your side yard look great. It's your house. You know what you need. You head over to Circle City Trees, circlecitytrees.com. Pick the tree that matches your personality. Pick the tree that's right for what it is you're trying to get done, and let them take care of the rest. And everything, all the pricing, right there on their website. Easy to understand, easy people to work with. You're going to enjoy the conversation. You're going to enjoy the tree. CircleCityTrees.com. Talk to them today. 317-768-3005. That's 317-768-3005. Circle City Trees, 768-3005, or online at CircleCityTrees.com.
This is Sammy Terry. There are two things guaranteed in life: death and taxes. Death can be painful, but paying your taxes doesn't have to be, with a little extra cash in your pocket from Indiana Unclaimed. Yes, George, you're right. George the Spider reminds us that Indiana Unclaimed returns over $1 million every single week, and there are hundreds of millions of dollars just waiting to be claimed by the rightful owner. Text Sammy to 46220 to find out if you or your loved ones have unclaimed funds. Claim yours today. Text Sammy to 46220 now.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hammond's Garden Company South has trees, shrubs, vegetables, flowers, hanging baskets, plus garden and landscape supplies and knowledgeable staff. Hammond's South on Emerson Avenue.
93 WIBC Mobile News,
and no matter
on
what
the
you're
level.
planting or planting, Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. So spring forward in a Hubler quality pre-owned vehicle, including Chevys, Fords, Toyotas, GMCs, Buicks, Nissans, Acuras, Mazdas, Hondas, and many more. All makes, all models, certified vehicles, luxury vehicles, even the hard-to-find ones. Shop any of Hubler's 13 locations and choose from over 2,000 vehicles. Every Hubler Q-certified vehicle is covered by a 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty, plus a 128-point vehicle inspection and a free Carfax history report. So spring forward, knowing Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. Visit Hubler.com or any of our 13 locations.
Hubler's got you covered. Cover me!
Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
93 WIBC Mobile News, on the level, on the go.
They say they have fewer of your dollars to work with. Your radar is clear, and it's 44 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. Your high today is 68. Severe weather chances increase in the next 24 hours. More on that in a moment. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 7:31.
We're going to have to make tough decisions. Going to make some cuts. If anybody has the audacity to come and ask us for more money, more than likely just take them out.
That's State Senator Ryan Mishler of Mishawaka. He says the Hoosier State is bringing in $2 billion less than it planned for the next budget cycle. Democratic State Rep Gregory Porter says his party has suggested several budget changes earlier this session that could bring in more money.
Where are we going to go? It was yet to be seen. How are we going to get there? Only time will tell. And time is not on our side at this point.
And political leaders say much of the lost revenue is due to economic uncertainty, including concerns about how tariffs could affect Indiana's manufacturing heavy economy. We could get some rough weather Friday.
We're expecting wind gusts of 30 to 40 miles per hour just during the afternoon hours.
Forecaster Andrew White at the National Weather Service.
But then the focus shifts to that potential for severe weather as a cold front moves through during the overnight hours.
And White says more severe weather expected, might bring tornadoes, but it'll move out by Saturday. At least 300 National Weather Service workers are expected to take a federal buyout today. The agency's leaders warn that this could leave some forecast offices short. They say more meteorologists are needed to anticipate more extreme weather. The Trump administration says it wants quick relief after a judge warned that he might hold them in contempt for ignoring his order to pause deportation flights.
The court ultimately determines that the government's actions on that day demonstrate a willful disregard for its order. Well, President Trump took to Truth Social to rail against the judiciary, writing, quote, "They seem to hate Trump so much that anything goes." Well, meantime, the administration is also appealing a judge's order to provide daily updates on efforts to bring back the alleged MS-13 gang member Kilmar Abrego Garcia.
And that's Fox's Chanley Painter reporting you're paying an average of $3.06 for gas across the Hoosier State, but gas prices are dropping. And in some parts of Indianapolis this morning, you could get gas for under $3 a gallon. Sports on WIBC brought to you by Ball State Athletics. Visit ballstatesports.com. Game 1 of the NBA Finals first round begins Saturday, and for the Pacers, it's easy. Beat the Bucks and take care of home court advantage. Aaron Nesmith talks about why he believes the Pacers are such a strong home team.
In my opinion, the best fan base in the NBA. They really know their basketball. They're passionate, diehard fans. And we're just comfortable. We're able to do our routine, sleep in our own beds. We're just comfortable at home.
And the Bucks are hot, though. They're going to be hard to beat. They've come in. They've won 8 straight games to finish the regular season. Saturday's game tips off at 1 o'clock. Major League Baseball, Padres over the Cubs 4-2. The Mariners beat the Reds 5-3. And the Indianapolis Indians, in walk-off fashion, beat Toledo in 12, 5-4. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level on the go and at WIBC.com at 7:35. Traffic on the 5s. Good morning, Matt Bear.
What's happening, Ryan? Jailbreak in Boone County, northbound 65. The police activity is cleared at County Road 550 South. Still slow past 865, the Dogleg to West 86th Street. Inbound 69, stop and go traffic 116th Street to 82nd. Northbound 6570 slows from Michigan Street through the North Split out to Meridian Penn. Southside eastbound 465 grinding from US 31 over to Emerson Avenue. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, get 30% off all patio furniture, wicker, Berlin Gardens, poly, cast aluminum, teak, and more. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
We have got ourselves 42 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 7:36.
You love spring and indies, so don't spend it painting. Do what your neighbor Mike did. He called Rhino Shield.
Our home is basically a contemporary, and we just started noticing that the paint was just fading and just looked like garbage. We had received a postcard from Rhino Shield, and we decided to take a look at it.
Rhino Shield's formulated for our specific climate here in Indiana.
The process with Rhino Shield and their crew, they were just very conscientious. We had problems in the past with painters. They leave debris and everything. Well, we didn't have that with Rhino Shield.
Way better than paint, backed by a 25-year warranty. Right now, get the guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield for 15% off the regular price.
The thing about Rhino Shield, the heat gain has been reduced, and we save $70 a month. You don't hear that about any type of paint.
Here's Rhino Shield's Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl.
Go Rhino.
Paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield and Common Threads has teamed up with the Indiana Fever to provide local schools with information for nutritious meal preparation. Learn more at anthem.com/fever. Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is the trade name of Anthem Insurance Companies, Inc.
Whenever I'm out a-wandering, chasing a rainbow dream, I often stop and think about a place I've never seen.
Today on the marketplace, this is some false advertising nonsense hooey. This could result in the possibility of a war. Dun, dun, dun. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. Good to be with you. Downtime. I'm clearing my head. I'm getting ready for what's next on the show. I find myself on Facebook Marketplace. I'm looking at cool stuff, odd stuff, weird stuff, interesting stuff, strange stuff. The Marketplace brought to you by IndianaUnclaimed.gov. IndianaUnclaimed.gov. It's your cash. Go get it. It's still your cash. IndianaUnclaimed.gov. On the live stream, I am there with Matt Bear and producer Carl. Came across this post there on the Marketplace, and it says, State Fair mini donut machine. And I immediately say to myself, Matt Bear, hot damn, the gods are with me. Ooh. It's a mini. Now I ask you, Matt Bear, you don't eat donuts anymore because of your fine, chiseled physique. You want to make Indiana healthy, and you can't be seen eating a donut, right?
I want to agree with you. That's not entirely true. I love the donut, man.
No, that's fact. You don't eat donuts. As a matter of fact, it's the poster boy for the Maha movement in Indiana. You will never eat a donut again. Go ahead, say it.
Donuts suck. I will never eat one again.
That's right. That's right. Leave that for the rest of us.
Gross.
Leave that for the rest of the fatty moo cows. Thank you.
Oh, they're gooey icing.
Right? Gooey icing.
Gooey icing.
Oddly enough, Gooey Icing was the name of my band in college.
It's so whatever. OnlyFans. That's what I'm doing.
Wow.
What?
Really?
I make donuts on social media. What are you mad at me for?
I'm not gonna lie, you might be a genius.
Maybe,
hold on.
Maybe this isn't the place to self-promote, that kind of thing.
All right, so we'll get back to this. This is the Marketplace. It's a family-friendly segment. The mini donut machine just purchased pre-made donuts, run through the machine, no oil needed. Donuts ready in under a minute. Eat plain or add your twist of special toppings. Great for almost any event, day, afternoon, or night. I'm going to read that again to you, Matt Bear.
Please do, yeah, because I think what I'm saying is not what you're saying. Okay.
Mini donut machine just purchased pre-made donuts. If I'm purchasing pre-made donuts, This is not a donut machine. This is a freaking toaster. These people have the audacity to try and sell an $800 conveyor belt toaster as a mini donut machine. And I want the Attorney General on this. This level of fraud cannot be allowed. Shut down the Marketplace. Bring back Kunstler. Let's get this solved. By the way, that's William Kunstler, an incredible lawyer back in his day, a man of history. I know what I said. This cannot stand, Matt Bear.
No, I mean, all you're doing is buying a dozen from Jack's and heating them up in your State Fair donut toaster.
It's a toaster.
That's all it is.
It's a toaster. You can't do this to people. Now, maybe it's a really good toaster, but it's still just a toaster.
I could only fit like 4 slices of bread in this. You can fit like a dozen and a half mini donuts, but if you're actually putting the bread in there, I don't think you can put very much.
4 slices of bread if you're utilizing whole French baguettes. It's a pretty big toaster.
I mean, yeah, but it's you can buy this on the Marketplace for less than what you're buying here for this donut maker. I'm just not convinced that this is something you need in your home.
I'm wholly offended by this. Wholly offended.
I'm angry at this.
Honestly, it's very possible that I could rage.
You're gonna rage?
Not gonna lie. Oh, Howard Dean ain't got nothing on me.
We're going to the White House.
Good Lord. So yeah, I'm pretty disappointed in this, Matt. Is this a no from you?
This is an absolute no for me. Besides, if I want a donut from the State Fair, I'll go to the State Fair, man.
Maybe you can't make the State Fair, and you're like, I want a donut, but who has the time to drive all that way?
Yeah, I'm going to go out to the State Fair, get my donut instead of making it at home, where it's not going to taste as good.
I want to say to the people who posted this, maybe that's how it's labeled. Maybe it's labeled as a mini donut machine, and you're just putting it out there the way you got it. I'm saying, as an authority, and when I say authority, I mean as a dopey radio host. This is not a mini donut machine. This is false advertising, and I want to say this is how wars start.
I didn't know that.
You have to stop this. You have to change the description and just call it toaster.
Putin just invaded Latvia, as a matter of
I'm
fact,
just,
to get
I'm
their
just
donut
trying
makers.
I'm just trying to bring world peace, man. That's all I'm trying to do. Nothing else. Nothing else, boo. Everything we do is there at WIBC.com. Just look for the marketplace presented by IndianaUnclaimed.gov, and it'll be there. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. You're going to need a house to handle this new toaster of yours. That's why you need Mark Dietel. It's the spring selling season. The rates, activity is moving. It is a great time, maybe the best time in years to sell your home, but some homes are sitting on the market. Hiring an expert who can maximize equity and minimize hassle is the key. That expert, Mark Dietel. Perhaps you're worried about costly repairs, upgrades needed to sell your home. Mark Dietel is the only real estate expert trusted and recommended with the sale of your home. Mark Dietel guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. Just pick your move date. No long-term contracts. You can cancel at any time. Andrew in downtown Noblesville said, recently retired, our goal was to sell our home of 30 years, buy an RV, and spend summers traveling to Montana and winters in Arizona. Mark Dietel's team made it happen fast. We went under contract in 3 days over asking price with no contingencies. Call the local Indianapolis agent, trusted and recommended, the agent who guarantees your home sold, or he'll buy it. Talk to Mark Dietel today. Very good guy. You're going to enjoy the conversation. 317-755-4232. Get all the details or go online to markdietel.com. That's Mark Dietel, Dietel, markdietel.com. Matt Bear returns. He's in the WIBC Traffic Center. Follow him on the Twitter X at Matt in Traffic, if you would. With traffic on the fives, what's going on?
South side, long delay here, 17 minutes on eastbound 465, US 31 over to Arlington Avenue. And inbound 69, stop and go 106th Street down to 465. Northwest side, northbound 465, slow roll off 79th up to 865. Northbound 6570, stop and go traffic from Ohio Street through the north split out to Meridian Penn. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week is Sullivan Hardware and Garden. See their large selection of grills, Weber, Traeger, and Napoleon, along with the Big Green Egg. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the fives. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
42 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 7:46.
Addiction doesn't just affect one person, it touches everyone around them. That's why Matt Bear and Ryan Hedrick created the Supporting Sobriety podcast. It's for the friends and family standing behind, offering hope, guidance, and real talk. Listen now wherever you get your podcasts.
For over 20 years, Howard Bailey Financial has been helping families just like yours gain clarity, confidence, and purpose with personal and practical financial strategies. And now, we're offering our full suite of services on Rangeline Road, right in the heart of Carmel, making it even easier to meet with our experienced team face-to-face. Whether you're planning for retirement, navigating life transitions, or just need guidance for your financial future, we're here to walk with you every step of the way. Text CARMEL to 888-262-1104 to download a free retirement resource. Howard Bailey Financial, helping you turn hope into a plan and dreams into reality. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
Promises made, promises kept. Governor Mike Braun's bold leadership is already getting things done for Hoosiers. Governor Braun and State House Republicans are delivering massive property tax cuts. We're talking nearly $1.5 billion in relief. That's real money back in homeowners' pockets. But Braun didn't stop there. He cut local income tax capacity by nearly $2 billion and capped the local income tax rate to protect Hoosiers. And Braun led the fight to reform local government taxes, giving Hoosiers more say by requiring referendums be held in high-turnout elections. Thanks to Governor Braun and State House Republicans, your property taxes will be lower, future increases are reined in, and the system is now more transparent. Visit HoosierHope.org and let Governor Braun and Republican legislators know You support historic property tax cuts. Paid for by HoosierHope.org.
When it comes to managed network services and IT support, Applied Innovation is at the top of the list for these Applied Innovation customers. Sean Carnahan, sales manager for Adventure Homes.
They do all of our computers, so they take care of all of our issues, anything that comes up with our servers, any tech support, software we need, any equipment we need.
Eric Lane, director of information technology for Raleigh Williams Paint Spot.
Applied Innovation has been very proactive, and they've laid out a plan for here is what we look like today, and here's what we want to look like in 18 months and then going forward. So it's the long-term vision that they have that other companies didn't.
Ashley Crane, IT director for Belmont Beverage.
They're just a really great company that has a lot to offer to a small IT team like ourselves.
Applied Innovation, office technology made simple, backed by a partner you can trust. Call Applied Innovation today, 800-521-0983, or visit appliedinnovation.com.
At Diamonds Direct, we believe luxury is an experience and not a price tag. Luxury is expert guidance. It's the selection of 10 jewelry stores under one roof. It's saving time on endless comparison shopping, and you'll only find this experience at Diamonds Direct. Our luxury showroom has it all backed by our lifetime warranties and our signature best price guarantee. Diamonds Direct is the perfect combination of luxury and value, so you don't ever have to compromise. Learn more at diamondsdirect.com. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion.
From military life to a rewarding career in IT, kickstart your new journey in a matter of months in the fields of IT and cybersecurity, including AI. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including VA benefits.
So when I said earlier that Judge Boasberg should be thrown off the bench, I want you to know that I meant every word of it. I meant every single word. This contempt conversation, Judge Boasberg is finding the Trump administration in contempt for defying his order. His order is the problem. This is the larger conversation about lawfare. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. Good to be with you. Find everything over there at WIBC.com and get the podcast wherever it is you get your podcast. Just search for Tony Katz of the Morning News. Producer Carl works hard on it. You should give him an attaboy and subscribe and download and do all the things. The order itself is the issue. When Judge Boasberg said you can't use the Alien Enemies Act, turn those planes around. That was not, well, as a judge, you have to listen. No. That was an activist engaged in trying to have authority well outside his purview. We have, over the decades, over the centuries, would we argue, would the lawyers argue since Marbury v. Madison? I would say the historians, not so much the lawyers, built up this idea that the judiciary can just decide they don't like something. And you got to deal with it. Elected official. The judiciary does not decide immigration policy. The president does. The executive branch does. In this situation, a judge decided, having no real capacity to make these determinations, that the duly elected president of the United States couldn't use legislation on the books since 1798. That's some hubris. That's some ego. That's a God complex. Where does this come from? Well, it could come from the fact that his daughter is a leftist of leftists and works for organizations that try and keep illegal immigrants here in the United States. I don't know yet all of their connections to other NGOs out there that, as we've discussed for years, teach people to lie. We, the taxpayer, gave non-governmental organizations our dollars, and they taught people coming across the border illegally to lie and claim refugee status so they could stay. We have been paying for our own demise. I wouldn't fund a single non-governmental organization because they're all ideological organizations. They don't get a dime. And if those people don't have a job, I don't care. They don't care about whether or not you have a job, whether I have a job. I'm not about to pay any attention to them. Go get a real job. Stop stealing our money and stop using it against us because you want to harm the country. Maybe it was his daughter who influenced him. Maybe not. I don't know. What I know is that the judge is well out of line. And if you say to me, you can't say that about a judge, of course I can. So can you. We have to recognize that what we are witnessing, this abuse of power, is the problem. I have been saying this about the expert class. It was Kurt Schlichter who first started talking about this in Militant Normals, his book where I did the audiobook of this, and I have been ruminating on this for the past few years. Here's where I think people are not making the proper connection piece. Expertise is good. The expert class is not, because the expert class is inappropriately taught and educated. And they want to utilize that expertise as a way of saying we have dominion over you. No. The expertise is the issue. The learning is the issue. These organizations are the issue. And this rogue judge thinking that he could decide immigration policy is the issue. Censure is not enough. Admonishment is not enough. Throw him off the bench. I will discuss more of this. Right now, Matt Bear has traffic.
Eastbound 465 on the south side, stop and go traffic from US 31 over to I-65. Your delay right now is running 13 minutes in that stretch. Eastbound 70, stop and go traffic, Belmont to the south split. Westbound 70 slows approaching the north split, then over the flyover ramp, stop and go to Meridian Penn. Inbound 69, stop and go traffic 106th Street down to 96. A crash on the west side. This is Holt Road at Michigan Street. And on the northwest side, northbound 465, stop and go traffic after 79th up to 865. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week is Sullivan Hardware and Garden. Get 30% off all patio furniture, wicker, Berlin Gardens, Bali, Castelloba, Teak, and more. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the fives. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Hi, I'm Charlie Comer, owner of Comer & Cross Concrete Floors. If you're even thinking about a new garage floor, I promise you will love your new Comer & Cross garage floor more than any home improvement you do. Every single day for years to come. That's why so many builders use Comer & Cross. And Comer & Cross patios look way better than a new one at a fraction of the cost. Comer & Cross garage floors and patios are the gold standard, guaranteed to never chip, crack, or show tire lift like epoxy or paint ever. And we make it so easy. We are all courteous uniform pros. We have the equipment and know-how to fix your concrete perfectly before applying your gleaming, new, proprietary Comer & Cross finish. We even take your stuff out for you. For your quick and easy, no sales pressure estimate, please call us right now at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. That's 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. Or go to COMERcross.com.
Indiana patients rely on many types of pharmacies to access their medications and critical healthcare services. But a proposal being considered in the Indiana legislature called SB 140 would disrupt access to medications for Indiana patients. SB 140 would impose government mandates blocking access to critical pharmacy options and services in Indiana. Lost access to pharmacy options would directly harm many of Indiana's most vulnerable patients, including patients fighting cancer and heart disease, many of whom rely on specialty pharmacies for their care. SB 140 would even hike costs for Indiana patients by imposing a $10 tax on every prescription filled in the state. That would often fall directly on the patient. Tell your state legislator, protect access to medications, reject higher costs. Put Indiana patients first by voting no on SB 140, paid for by conservatives for lower healthcare costs.
Hey, it's Rob for Universal Windows Direct. If spring cleaning has you thinking about spring upgrading, this is the month to do it. Freshen up your home's look, boost your energy efficiency, and save big during Universal Windows Direct's Spring Home Improvement event. Right now, it's their classic fan favorite offer, buy 2 windows, get 2 free, no limit. And for a limited time, Universal Windows Direct is also offering no interest until 2030. That's right, upgrade your home today and don't pay a cent in interest for 6 whole years. And here's the real spring surprise. Get a bonus $500 off your home improvement project. There's never been a better time to bundle and save with Universal Windows Direct. Some restrictions may apply, so call today, 317-659-7574. 317-659-7574. Get all the information and schedule your totally free in-home estimate. And see everything for yourself on the web, universalwindowsdirect.com, universalwindowsdirect.com. Tell them Rob sent you.
Since we opened our doors, UC Bank has been committed to the communities we call home. Building financial wellness, UC is proud to offer customized lending strategies and innovative resources to our vibrant communities. UC Bank, building community one family, one street, one city at a time. Member FDIC.
It's tax season, and at LifeLock, we know you're tired of numbers. But this one you need to hear. $16.5 billion. That's how much money in refunds the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud last year. Now, here's a good number. $100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed. Oh, one last number. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit LifeLock.com for the threats you can't control. Terms apply.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recyclers Studios, tornadoes cannot be ruled out, say forecasters, with the severe threat that's headed your way. You may have heard about a budget shortfall in the latest revenue forecast for Indiana, what political leaders are saying about that, and what the cops are saying about a shooting that left 3 people in bad shape. After Fox News, you're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1, Indianapolis. It's 8 o'clock.
No one is perfect. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. But Kilmar Abrego Garcia's wife, Jennifer, says he's not dangerous, not in a gang, and doesn't belong in prison in El Salvador. Fox's Griff Jenkins reports.
Newly surfaced court records show Abrego Garcia's wife filed domestic violence allegations against her husband. However, she's now telling Newsweek, quote, after surviving domestic violence in a previous relationship, I acted out of caution after a disagreement with Kilmar by seeking a civil protective order in case things escalated. Things did not escalate, and I decided not to follow through.
Meantime, the mother of a woman murdered by another immigrant from El Salvador in Maryland met with President Trump at the White House.
Hattie Morin shared graphic and heartbreaking details about the deadly attack.
He used them to hammer her head against those rocks. They say 20, at least 20 times.
Morin spoke from the White House press room. A migrant from El Salvador was convicted of the rape and murder of 37-year-old Rachel Morin, a mother of 5. The Trump administration has pointed to that crime to bolster its deportation case against Kilmar Abrego Garcia.
That's Fox's Jared Halpern. At the White House today, Italy's Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni.
She's the first European leader to sit down face-to-face with the president since he implemented and then paused 20% tariffs on European exports. And they do really share a good relationship. So today she's going to be working to preserve that while also seeing if she can sway Trump on a 0-for-0 tariff deal that the European Union is seeking. The Wall Street Journal writes this: Meloni's broader goal is to keep the U.S. firmly anchored to Europe, positioning herself as a potential bridge between Western allies. As the rhetoric from Washington turned increasingly antagonistic, the Italian premier has tried to keep the continent in Trump's good graces, urging her European colleagues to avoid confrontation.
Fox's Alexandria Hoff. The Trump administration is threatening to stop Harvard University from enrolling foreign students unless it turns over visa holders' disciplinary records. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
They're not ruling out an isolated tornado. You have a clear radar. No tornadoes right now, thank God. 42 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. Your high today is 66. I'm Ryan Hedrick, and here's what's trending at 8:02.
I mean, we can't rule out a tornado, but really our best chances of severe threat is going to be damaging wind gusts and large hail.
That's forecaster Casey Fuson at the National Weather Service. Indianapolis talking about a severe system headed your way. It'll move in late Friday night.
Northwest of Indianapolis is where those best chances for maybe an isolated tornado will be.
And Fuson says the main threats to you are damaging winds and large hail. State leaders say Indiana is working to close a $2.4 billion budget gap.
In the 21 years I've been here, I was here during the recession in 08 or 09 budget. This one scares me a lot more than that.
Senator Ryan Mishler of Mishawaka says all options are on the table for potential budget cuts. Mishler says Medicaid growth is slowing, though, which is good news. He says about 30,000 fewer Hoosiers are on the program than expected. About 2 million of you still rely on it. Some counties may be losing some of their judges. Chris Davis explains why.
Judges make about $183,000 a year, and magistrates make about $146,000. A bill that passed the state Senate Wednesday proposes doing away with some of those positions to save money using a formula that uses caseload to determine how many judges are needed. If it becomes law, the bill would eliminate judges in Blackford, Carroll, Gibson, Greene, Jennings, Monroe, Newton, Owen, Pulaski, Rush, and Scott counties, along with 6 juvenile magistrate positions in Marion County. Savings the first year, about $750,000. Chris Davis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
It was an otherwise quiet afternoon on Indy's east side yesterday along North Irvington Avenue, and all of a sudden, gunshots, cops, and crime scene tape.
You'll see detectives going door to door trying to gather information, look for any video footage, any witness statements.
IMPD officer Drew Brown says 3 people are in bad shape, and that shooting happened at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Imagine losing somebody you love to murder and then waiting decades with no answers. And then one day, the cops tell you they've solved the case.
In 1972, Phyllis Baylor was on her way with her daughter to visit her parents, but they never arrived. The next morning, she, her daughter, and her car were all found in a ditch. The daughter was okay, but Baylor was found shot and killed. Earlier this year, with forensic genealogy and a DNA profile of Baylor's clothes, officers found out the killer was Fred Lieneman, who was killed in 1985, and prosecutors say Lieneman would be facing charges if he was still alive. Jake McDaniel, 93, WIBC Mobile News.
One of the advantages of having interns who are engaged and love what they do is...
Interns bring youthful energy, fresh perspectives, and innovative thinking to the legislative process. This year's class of interns have done a great job, and we very much appreciate their dedicated service this season.
And that was State Senator Travis Holdman talking about recognizing the interns who come from colleges and universities across the Hoosier State. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com at 8:05. Traffic on the 5s, and here's Matt Baer.
Crash downtown, eastbound 70, just shy of West, and the left lane closed. Traffic stop and go back to Tibbs, and 8-minute delay. Westbound 70 slows after Emerson Avenue through the north, split out to Meridian Penn. Northwest side, northbound 465 stop and go traffic from 86th Street to 865. Inbound 69, 8-minute delay from 116th Street to 465, and a crash on the west side, Holt Road at Michigan Street. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code RADIO and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Baer with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Tara Hastings, Wish TV meteorologist. What are we feeling?
Hey, good morning. We're starting off with some sunshine. We'll look for a partly cloudy sky later this afternoon. There's a very tight window where we could see a few showers this afternoon, but I wouldn't necessarily cancel any plans. We'll see temps today right around normal at 65, and the winds may be a touch breezy at times. We'll look for a partly to mostly cloudy sky tonight, mid-50s, and Friday, mostly sunny, windy and warmer. Winds could gust 30 to 35 miles per hour. We'll see highs near 78. Some thunderstorms possible late Friday night during the overnight hours. And then we're going to continue to see rain possible, maybe moderate to heavy at times for both Saturday and Sunday with high temperatures into the upper 60s.
And again, Kokomo,
yes,
right around 8:30. No rain.
Yep.
Nice 60-degree temperatures. It's perfect cigar weather. That's what you're telling me.
Yes, cigars, bourbons, but 3 bourbons.
Right.
Just 3. Do you know what is it a surprise, like what the bourbons are?
Well, it's a surprise to the people. All the bourbons come from Heaven Hill. I did announce that today. I think I said that before. They're all Heaven Hill bourbons. And so I could say that. But what they are, well, that's a mystery. You won't know until you get there.
That's a good tease. I like it.
Right.
I've never had a Heaven Hill bourbon before.
Yes, you have.
I have?
Of course you have.
Huh. Okay.
I'm just going to say yes because I don't want to think poorly of you.
That's very valid. Okay.
But I am this summer bringing an event to the South Side. I'm looking for the place right now. I'm ready to book. I'm ready to go. So don't mention any places because then people are going to be like, well, Tara Hastings, if I don't use that place, she'll be angry with me. I don't want that.
No.
But if you know some people, you could send it to me via some messaging type service. But okay. I know you're a South Sider, and that means you would show up, right?
That is correct. If yes, I mean I'm not. There is a chance, a definite chance, if it's on the South Side, I could make an appearance. Yes.
Right. Surprise appearance, guest appearance, special appearance.
I love it. Very
Perhaps
good.
Even a cameo.
Ooh, yes.
Right. As opposed to the band's cameo, which is something very different.
Very different.
Huge difference, right there. Okay. So if you've got some spots, South Side, and I'll do that from Beech Grove down to Bargersville.
Beech Grove to Bargersville. Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Should we go to Franklin? We can do that. We can go to Franklin.
Oh, Franklin is a very nice town. Yes. Love Franklin.
Yes. Met my first wife in Franklin. It's not true at all.
I was going to say.
I've only been married once. I did it right, and she's not from Franklin. But I've used that line many times, and people will look at you like, "What?"
Well, you got paused.
Sheboygan.
I'm like,
Met
wait
my
a minute.
first wife in Sheboygan, and they're like, "What? No, huh?" So
What?
yeah, exactly. That's what they do. That's exactly it. But we will not see you tonight. But we will have fine weather tonight in Kokomo, Indiana.
Yes, enjoy. 8:30 should be picture perfect for you guys.
Right on. Right on. There she goes. Tara Hastings, Wish TV meteorologist. Maybe you'll see her on the South Side this summer. Right now, we've got ourselves 42 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 8:10.
This hour on 93 WIBC, powered by Damon's Garden Center West on Rockville Road.
Deal coming together between the United States and Japan on trade? Possibly happening. According to our federal government, Trump met with the Japanese trade delegation and big progress has been made. Writing on Truth Social, hopefully something can be worked out, which is good and great for Japan and the USA. The question, of course, is, well, what does great mean? What does it look like? Everything is in the details of the deal. Everything is in the what will we see on this series of products. Because a win, again, Trump, the first rule of Trumpism is Trump wins. And the second rule of Trumpism is that a deal can always be made as long as it adheres to the first rule of Trumpism. It could be quite literally anything he says it is. What the markets will want to see is trade deal. What I think we should look for are the specifics. Right now, Japan deals with a 10% tariff from the U.S., remember, there was a 10% baseline put on everything. And a 25% tax on imported cars, auto parts, steel, other aluminum exports. So this is raising the prices of vehicles and all sorts of things we get from Japan. What does the deal look like? We will find out soon enough. And you know how everyone's been talking about, we've discussed it here, this El Salvadorian named Kilmar Abrego Garcia. Oh, and he was taken from his home in Maryland. He's a Maryland resident. He's not a Maryland resident. And he was kidnapped. He wasn't kidnapped. And he wasn't part of MS-13. He's not a gang member. It turns out Pam Bondi putting out information that there are multiple reports, reliable sources, saying that he's a member of MS-13, associated with members of MS-13. Then there is the information that his wife, who has been out there crying, what a wonderful man, what a wonderful husband, what a wonderful this, what a wonderful that. In 2021, she alleges he is a repeated wife beater and wrote, and I quote, "At this point, I'm afraid to be close to him. I have multiple photos, videos of how violent he can be and all the bruises that he has left me." And in her own handwriting, as Bill Malugan reports, alleges that Abrego Garcia punched and scratched her on the eye, leaving her bleeding after throwing her laptop on the floor. So this is who we're dealing with here. I'm not saying people can't have a change of heart. I am saying that when she talks about him loving and being perfect, she didn't feel that way just a few years ago. And that the Democratic Party now wants to go down to El Salvador and fight for his release? That's not a good look. The wife now says she didn't mean what she said in this reporting. Okay. She can change her mind. But she said what she said, so she's either lying or what? This guy is in the country illegally. The deportation order is lawful. And yes, there is an MS-13 connection. We know this part. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning.
Spring has sprung and Indiana's floodgates have opened, meaning everything is growing, including your roots. Underground root growth knows no bounds and can wreak havoc on your sewer system, causing potential damage to your home. My friends at Hope Plumbing want to help you stay ahead of the rain by offering $300 off any sewer repair or replacement. This offer excludes drain cleanings. Call Hope Plumbing at 641-HOPE or visit them online at hopeplumbing.com and stay dry this spring.
Traffic on the fives. Matt Bear, what are you wearing?
Well, thank you very much. Looking at eastbound 70 downtown, it is a crash after West Street. And the left lane is closed right now. So stop and go traffic back to Holt Road. Southside eastbound 465, stop and go 31 past 65. Crash on the west side, Holt Road at Michigan Street. Inbound 69, stop and go for a 9-minute delay. That's 100 at 16th Street down to 465. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the fives. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
42 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 8:16.
Well, given the troubles with the stock market today, your Social Security income becomes a lot more important in retirement. And that's why it's critical you make a smart decision and don't leave any money on the table. Learn how you can squeeze every nickel out of your benefits with a free Social Security analysis from Bill Demery, your retirement guy.
Bill Demery knows Social Security. He's done it for thousands of people, and he's my retirement guy. This analysis tells you how and when you could get the most income from Social Security while considering your taxes, spousal benefits, even your Medicare premiums. So if you've saved more than $200,000 and have not yet filed for Social Security, schedule that free analysis right now by calling Bill Demery. 317-648-5120. 317-648-5120. It's a free analysis. Just call 317-648-5120.
Look around. Spring is here. And no matter what you're planning or planting, Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. So spring forward in a Hubler quality pre-owned vehicle, including Chevys, Fords, Toyotas, GMCs, Buicks, Nissans, Acuras, Mazdas, Hondas, and many more. All makes, all models, certified vehicles, luxury vehicles, even the hard-to-find ones. Shop any of Hubler's 13 locations and choose from over 2,000 vehicles. Every Hubler Q-certified vehicle is covered by a 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty, plus a 128-point vehicle inspection and a free Carfax history report. So spring forward, knowing Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. Visit Hubler.com or any of our 13 locations.
Hubler's got you covered. Cover me!
Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
It's tax season, and at LifeLock, we know you're tired of numbers. But this one you need to hear. $16.5 billion. That's how much money in refunds the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud last year. Now, here's a good number. $100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed. Oh, one last number. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit LifeLock.com for the threats you can't control. Terms apply.
1 in 4 Americans have a disability. I'm one of them. I'm also a working mom who cares deeply about making sure every child with a disability thrives by getting their access needs met. We've got a trusted ally by our side. Easter Seals provides children and families the foundation for lifelong success through early learning programs, skills training, and prep for college and career. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours. Join us at easterseals.com.
It's the Bash Sale, the biggest automotive sale in history. Your local Bill Estes dealerships are coming in hot with deals on trucks you don't want to miss. We have a huge selection of trucks at one easy online stop. Brand new Chevy, Ford, GMC, Jeep, Ram, and Toyota trucks with a massive pre-owned selection too. Plus, our fair and direct upfront pricing means what you see is what you pay. Shift into savings during the Bash Sale, only at Bill Estes dealerships, and drive away in your dream truck today. Online at BillEstesTrucks.com.
Part 2. Dr. Matt Will is an economist at the University of Indianapolis. Me, I'm Tony Katz, a radio host here at 93 WIBC and across the country with a whole bunch of stuff. Hey, everybody's got to do something. I do this. And Dr. Will and I had a conversation, actually it was last night, about the property taxes. And what does an economist think of this? How does he put this all together? Does he think this works? And he's like, no, this is a big mess. And we will have the full interview up for you at WIBC.com. You're going to listen to it. It's maybe the best primer out there for understanding what is actually taking place here. But I share with you now part 2 of this conversation where we pick it up talking about the idea of the tax credit you get of $300. Feel the air quotes. The maximum credit is predicated on what?
It's just a number. It's just a number. It's $300.
Oh, so the number is whatever I pay. 10% is what I'm supposed to get as a credit. But if that 10% exceeds $300, I don't get anything. I just get the $300.
Exactly. So let's say in Carmel. So Carmel has pretty, high price homes. The average home price in Carmel is about $540,000. So even though your 10% credit could be quite substantial. I mean, we're talking, on that kind of home, your credit in the formula could be $540. Sorry, it's not. It's capped at $300.
So now
they're limiting the amount, but there's no cap on the amount your appraised value can go up.
And this is the rub. And this is what got signed into law. And the argument lawmakers make is that somehow this is going to create a better system down the road. How do they come to that?
That's a bogus statement. Even our lieutenant governor said, quote, nobody understands this thing, including me. Even our lieutenant governor made that statement. No one understands it. Let me tell you why it came into being. That was the question you asked. Because this state is run by township governments. They are the pork of our financial health in this state. And they are very powerful at getting people elected to office in the primary system. They run the polls. They're the poll workers. And the Republicans and the Democrats are beholden to them. And this taps into their money. This property tax is how the townships are funded. Mitch Daniels tried to kill the township governments. He failed. The most powerful governor in modern history failed. Mike Braun is failing as well at this. He's a good guy. He's trying to get a win, but he's going up against the establishment. And the establishment's very powerful in Indiana, and it's hidden in the townships.
But the establishment is both parties in this case?
No, it's both parties, but it's predominantly the Republicans. We have a one-party system. It's a supermajority. And I don't care whether you agree or disagree with their policies. They are an entrenched bureaucracy that does not want to lose their township power.
Talking to Dr. Matt Will, economist at the University of Indianapolis, I often argue that I want the conservatives in charge more than I would ever want liberals in charge. They've shown just how poorly they operate a primary, never mind how they might run a city like, for example, Indianapolis. But the supermajority does us no good. And it hasn't. In the decade plus that I have lived in Indiana, I am not better off because of the supermajority. That's my argument, and I think that this property tax conversation really does kind of put a really large magnifying glass on this. What comes from this? What is life like economically for these municipalities, for the taxpayer, a year, 2 years, 5 years down the road?
The municipalities in Indiana are flush with cash, and this will make them more flush with cash. Now, I agree with what you said, that it would be worse if the Democrats ran the townships. It would be worse if they ran the state government, because they were dead set against even the small agreement that the governor was able to pull out of the House and the Senate. So they're not better. They're much worse. But the answer to your question is the money will continue to flow. The townships and the counties will continue to get lots of cash, and it will come on the back of the taxpayers.
The story about this couple in Greenwood can be found at the Indiana Capital Chronicle. Putting their needs first, Braun calls for property tax, healthcare price cuts at state of the state. This goes back to January of 2025. But there's also a conversation about income taxes that made it in here. What was done on income taxes in Indiana?
That's one of the funny politician things. This is politicians bragging about something that's meaningless. Right now, counties can tax you up to 3.75%. And so people listening to the show right now know what their county tax rate is. It's probably around 2%, 2.5%. But they could go up to 3.75. They made this incredible statement. Ready, Tony? It's amazing. We will cap the county tax at 2.9%. No one can be taxed higher than that. Thank you. We're wonderful politicians. Oh, by the way, only Pulaski County has a tax rate above that. In the entire state of Indiana, only one county has a rate above that. So they gave you nothing. They're bragging about giving you nothing. No one has a tax rate that high except one county.
The full interview with Dr. Matt Will be at WIBC.com. Producer Carl will make sure of that. If you want to understand what it is that got passed, signed into law by the General Assembly, by Governor Braun, we break it down, every last piece of it, in a way that you're going to be able to say, oh, this is what happened. It'll all be there at WIBC.com. Matt Bear has traffic.
Eastbound 70 crash going into downtown. It's before West, and it is blocking the left lane. Stop and go traffic back to Holt Road for a 10-minute delay. Crash west side, Holt Road at Michigan Street. Inbound 69, 6-minute delay. 116th Street to 465. Southbound 65 slows MLK to Meridian Penn. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, see their large selection of grills, Weber, Traeger, and Napoleon, along with the Big Green Egg. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Hammer and Nigel Show. Buy your tickets now to our Tales from the Track event. It's going to be awesome. And this afternoon, Rob Kendall flips out and goes off the rails. 93 WIBC.
It's the spring selling season. Time to sell your house. The activity is up. Best time in years to sell your home, but some homes are still sitting on the market. Hiring an expert who can maximize your equity, minimize hassle. That's the key. The expert agent recommended, Mark Dito. Maybe what you want is a fast, guaranteed, no-hassle home sale. but you don't want to have to give up that hard-earned equity to do it. Mark Dietel is the only real estate expert trusted and recommended with the sale of your home. Mark Dietel guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. Just pick your move date. No long-term contracts. You can cancel at any time. David in Martinsville said, we bought our dream property and we had to sell our old place with land by the end of the year to avoid a big tax hit. We had an agent friend who gave us no activity for months. Worried, we turned to Mark Dietel. Mark's team, they took over, marketed our property like pros, and got our property sold in plenty of time. Talk to the local Indianapolis agent. Trusted and recommended the agent who guarantees your home sold, or he'll buy it. That's Mark Dietel. Talk to him today. 317-755-4232. Tell them Tony Katz sent you. Get all the details. Or go online to markdietel.com. That's Mark Dietel. D-I-E-T-E-L. markdietel.com.
Hi, Jeff Roush for Tom Roush Lincoln. Right now, get Lincoln's employee pricing on most all new Lincolns at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers. Get up to $20,000 off select 2024 Navigators, up to $8,000 off select 2024 Nautilus, or up to $7,000 off select 2024 Corsair at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers.
Navigator MSRP 105,575, Nautilus MSRP 6195, Corsair MSRP 47,820. Offers good through 4/30/2025. Navigators excluded from employee pricing. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
Listen up, Gen Xers. Elizabeth Banks here. The recommended age for pneumococcal pneumonia vaccination has been lowered to 50 and older, even if you're healthy. It's up to us to lead the way. We've done this before. Music videos, fanny packs, even the World Wide Web. So let's do it again and get vaccinated. We're at over 6 times greater risk for pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults under 50. Gen X, this is our shot. Visit vaxassist.com to schedule. Sponsored by Pfizer.
The Builders Association of Greater Indianapolis's Parade of Homes is coming up April 25th through the 27th and May 2nd through the 4th, featuring Indy's top builders. Custom home builder Joyner Homes will have both of their Greenfield model homes featured on the tour, giving you the opportunity to meet their new home specialist, find out about floor plans, pricing, and available lots. JoynerHomes.com for more info and reserve your ticket to receive a free all-access pass for the Parade of Homes at BAGI.com.
This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, see their large selection of grills, Weber, Traeger, and Napoleon, along with the Big Green Egg.
Help DEA keep our community safe and healthy by participating in National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day, Saturday, April 26th. Take action right in your own home by cleaning out your medicine cabinet of unneeded medications. Keep them safe, clean them out, take them back. Find a collection site near you at DEATakeback.com. Do your part to lower overdose deaths and prevent prescription drug misuse before it starts. That's DEATakeback.com.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
It'll be windy and warm, and then severe weather will move in. Nothing severe on radar right now. To the contrary, 46 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. Your high today, 68. I'm Ryan Hedrick, and here's what's trending at 8:31.
We're expecting wind gusts of 30 to 40 miles per hour just during the afternoon hours.
Forecaster Andrew White at the National Weather Service talking about a severe system that moves in late Friday and will eventually reach you by about 11 o'clock Friday night.
But then the focus shifts to that potential for severe weather as a cold front moves through during the overnight hours.
And he says severe weather will stick around and probably be out of here by Saturday morning. Slower tax growth has opened up about a $2 billion hole in Indiana's next budget. Jake McDaniel takes a look at what's behind the drop in revenue.
Slower job growth and drops in corporate profits are bringing down tax income, and that is leaving Indiana over $2 billion short through 2027. Lawmakers say having over $2.5 billion in reserve on paper won't be enough. For now, while education cuts aren't the first choice, they're not completely ruled out. Jake McDaniel, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
A preventable disease caused by environmental exposure. That's how Robert F. Kennedy Jr., the Secretary of Health and Human Services, is calling autism. He called autism a preventable disease during a press conference yesterday and said that about 1 in 31 eight-year-olds in the United States right now has autism disorder. Maryland Democratic Senator Chris Van Hollen landed in El Salvador yesterday in an attempt to visit a man named Kilmar Obrego Garcia, who was in Maryland illegally and is part of MS-13, according to the Trump administration.
This is the absurdity that Americans have been facing for too long. Americans deserve representation, safe cities, the ability for their children to be safe at home, for their daughters to come home alive.
Tammy Bruce, State Department spokesperson, talking to Fox Business a couple of minutes ago. A League of Extraordinary Students was recognized at the State House. Here's Chris Davis.
Ryan Riddlesberger, Purdue University. Elijah Roberson, Franklin College. Jovi Taylor.
The names of interns for the Indiana Senate from around the state called to thank them for their work during this year's legislative session. Senator Travis Holdman of Markle with some special thanks.
We had a member of our staff who had some tough times financially, and one of these interns took a collection from all the other interns to help out that member of the staff to get him out of trouble.
Scholarships were awarded to a select few. Chris Davis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
The Indiana Pacers G League team is no longer known as the Mad Ants. The Pacers announced on Wednesday they're now known as the Noblesville Boom.
Chris Jensen is the mayor of Noblesville.
The local community looks forward to welcoming the Noblesville Boom to the Arena at Innovation Mile, and I know their presence in our community will have a lasting impact for years to come.
He says this is fitting because Noblesville is booming, and it was founded on an energy boom. The team name also pays tribute to the phrase Boom Baby, which was coined by the late former Pacers coach and radio commentator Slick Leonard. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Speaking of Boom Baby Sports, brought to you by Ball State Athletics. Visit ballstatesports.com. The Pacers hope there are a lot of Boom Babies on Saturday when they take on the Milwaukee Bucks in the first game of the first round of the NBA playoffs. Benedict Matherin's going to play this year. He wasn't able to do that last year because he was hurt, but he says he's ready to go.
I was in a sling. Just bringing cookies to the plane. That's what I was doing. But now it's really like everything I wish I could have done last year, I can do it now. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just grateful to go out there with my team and just bringing my impact to the game.
Pacers are 5.5-point favorites in game one tip-off at 1 o'clock. Saturday's game will be on ESPN. The network says Indiana Fever head coach Stephanie White will join play-by-play announcer Michael Grady for the broadcast. Major League Baseball, the Padres beat the Cubs 4-2. The Seattle Mariners beat the Cincinnati Reds 5-3. And the Indianapolis Indians walked off Toledo in a matinee game in 12 innings. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com at 8:35. Traffic on the fives. Here's Matt Bear.
Crash clear. Eastbound 70 before West Street. Still stop and go traffic. Holt Road over to Belmont. Now on the southeast side, it is a broken down semi-trailer. Northbound 465 before Washington Street. 2 right lanes are blocked. The fuzz is there. A whole lot of other emergency vehicles. And it looks like just a breakdown here at the moment. But this delay now stretching back to Brookville Road almost to South Shadeland. Northbound 65, slow off the flyover in the north, split out to west, and inbound 69, still dragging a bit, 106th Street, 282nd. It won't take you forever. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, get 30% off all patio furniture, wicker, Berlin Gardens poly, cast aluminum, teak, and more. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the fives. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
43 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 8:36.
Hey, this is Spencer Thompson at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. April is here, so that means it's our Dare to Compare sale. Compare our prices to any of the big stores in Indianapolis, your town, it doesn't matter. We guarantee you the lowest price on every sofa, sectional, recliner, mattress, outdoor furniture, anything, plus no extra fees, no delivery charge. Hurry, sale ends Monday only at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
The Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division has over $800 million just waiting to be claimed. Text MONEY to 46220 or visit indianaunclaimed.gov to claim yours today.
How bad is it? Don't sugarcoat it. Give it to me straight. Want coffee?
I think I need some coffee.
Time to fill up on the news. Tony Katz. 93 WIBC. Good morning. Good to be with you. Dow futures down 583, but NASDAQ is up 149. Trump wants Powell gone. He wants rates cut. Jerome Powell, chairman of the Federal Reserve, said, we're fine right where we are. The European Central Bank has now cut interest rates another quarter point. So I don't know if that applies pressure to Powell or not. Oil prices at $63.44 a barrel on the Brent crude. I'm sorry, on the West Texas crude coming out of Oklahoma, areas like that. Brent crude at $66.80 coming out of the oceans. 10-year Treasury, 4.29%. Oh, it's going to be an interest rate fight. We knew this was coming. We knew Trump would engage the pressure here to make this happen. This is not shocking nor surprising to anyone at all. And in a bit of local news outside of the economics, you've got the U.S. Open Cup, the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup. It's a soccer thing, and it's soccer from all levels, all competing for the same trophy. So the Indy 11, which is USL, engages in the same competition as Major League Soccer teams do. The Indy 11 last night with the win, 1-0 via a header in the 123rd minute. We're talking about second overtime. Absolutely fantastic. They are going to the Open Cup round of 32. And I don't know if that means any more games in Indy or not. This was last night in Indianapolis. This is good. Very, very happy to see it for them. You know, the world is crazy, but we do not have to be. That's why I have events like Trump and American Reset and 3 Bourbons. Oh, that is tonight. I cannot wait. And it's why we bring you the Tony Katz TK Thursday Music Moment, because it's good to take a moment and relax and breathe deep. That's why it's there for you. Presented by Kill a Dent, killadentremoval.com. The painless dent removal and the door dings and whatever it is you get from the supermarket or from Hale, you go to killadentremoval.com, and the next thing you know, your car is looking as good as new. So you should talk to them. They bring you the TK Tony Katz Thursday Music Moment, killadentremoval.com. And so what we do is we roll down the windows in the car, we turn up the speakers, we grab a drink. I'm not here to judge. And some music, some tunes, a chance to relax. We'll get back to the crazy. There's plenty of crazy. There is I believe the technical term is a crap ton of crazy. But every now and then, just take a breath, just take a beat. To make it happen today, I went to 1990. I don't often go to 1990. And I said, someone had brought up dancing earlier in the chat room. And I said, we could use a dance mix. I'll go dance mix. So 1990, from World Click, Delight. You know where the groove is. Producer Carl, hit it.
We're going to dance. We're going to dance. We're going to dance and have some fun.
Dig.
The chills that you spill up my back keep me filled with satisfaction when we're done. Satisfaction of what's to come. I couldn't ask for another. No, I couldn't ask for another.
Oh, that's right.
Your groove, I do deeply dig. No walls, only the bridge. My supper dish, my succotash wish.
Sing it, baby.
I couldn't ask for another. No, I couldn't ask for another. Groove is in the heart.
Watch out.
The depth of hula groove moves us to the nth hoop. We're going through two hot years of hoo-hoo. I couldn't ask for another. No, I couldn't ask for another. DJ Soul was on a roll. I've been told he can't be sold. He's not vicious or malicious, just lovely and delicious. I couldn't ask for another.
Something lurks in this torso. Heart got a deal you wanna know. Delightful, truly delightful. Making it, doing it, especially at a show. Feeling kinda high like a Hendrix haze. Music makes motion moves like a maze. All inside of me, heart especially. Hilt of the rhythm, where I wanna be. Come on, flowing, glowing with electric eyes. You dip to the dive, baby, you'll realize. Baby, you'll see the funk inside of me. Baby, you'll see that rhythm is the key. Get with it, can't think, quit it. Stomp on the stoop when I hear funk blue. Playing pop pipe, follow her to shoot, baby, just sing about the groove.
Sing it. The groove is in the heart. Groove is in the heart. Groove is in the heart. Groove is in the
Just need a minute, guys. That's all you need. Clear the head. Get back to it. A full listing of the music moments is available at WIBC.com. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. Your next tree comes from Circle City Trees because that's where all the trees come from. Well, not all the trees in the world, but the trees you want for your backyard, for your side yard, for your front yard, for that shade, for the patio, for that privacy from a neighbor, just to have the right style, the right look, something that really makes your house and your landscaping pop. CircleCityTrees.com. They only sell stock trees that thrive in Indiana, a large selection of mature trees. We're talking about shade trees, evergreens, fruit trees, ornamental trees, flowering trees. They've got everything. The pricing is all on the website, so you know what that tree is going to cost, and it includes the installation and the warranty. You should head on over there. They're right there in Zionsville. And with all those trees, like they have different styles, they have different personalities. Find something that matches you and what it is you're looking for. Check it out for yourself. Talk to the people at Circle City Trees and tell them Tony Katz sent you. CircleCityTrees.com. 317-768-3005. 317-768-3005. Circle City Trees. 768-3005 or online at CircleCityTrees.com. Matt Bear, traffic, what's happening?
Southeast side, northbound 465. That is a stalled semi. Broken down. Emergency vehicles are out, and that's going to require the right two lanes to be blocked. So traffic is stopped back to I-74 for a 26-minute delay to navigate that short stretch. Northbound 465 on the northwest side, slow from 86 to 865. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, get 30% off all patio furniture, wicker, Berlin Gardens poly, cast aluminum, teak, and more. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
We have got ourselves 44 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. At the time is 8:46.
Promises made, promises kept. Governor Mike Braun's bold leadership is already getting things done for Hoosiers. Governor Braun and State House Republicans are delivering massive property tax cuts. We're talking nearly $1.5 billion in relief. That's real money back in homeowners' pockets. But Braun didn't stop there. He cut local income tax capacity by nearly $2 billion and capped the local income tax rate to protect Hoosiers. And Braun led the fight to reform local government taxes, giving Hoosiers more say by requiring referendums be held in high-turnout elections. Thanks to Governor Braun and State House Republicans, your property taxes will be lower, future increases are reined in, and the system is now more transparent. Visit HoosierHope.org and let Governor Braun and Republican legislators know you support historic property tax cuts. Paid for by HoosierHope.org.
Heard about Galaxy Concrete Coatings and their transformation? Your neighbor Chip did.
I'm a real car guy, and I have a garage that I got tired of fighting the epoxy fight. Finally, I saw something on Facebook, and I got interested in Galaxy. Looked like a real good solution to me.
Home or business, Galaxy's got you covered.
My house is on a post tension to slab. It can get cracked, so what these guys did was they came in and they grooved out all those little cracks, and now it's one complete lovely surface, very pleasant on the eyes.
Transforms pools, patios, garage floors, driveways, and more. And Galaxy Concrete Coatings comes with a lifetime warranty.
You can just tell by looking at it, it's going to be impervious to anything I can throw at it for as long as I can imagine. And I haven't looked back since. I love it.
Click on Galaxy Concrete Coatings today. And remember to like us on Facebook. Galaxy Concrete Coatings, we are out of this world.
Are you worried about your taxes? Okay, so I'm talking to those of you out there that have not filed in a few years with the IRS or state. It's time to get worried, and here's why. The IRS is getting back from their own COVID lockdown, and they're hiring more enforcers, and they're going to come after people that owe taxes. So if you're a 1099 worker, and maybe you just plain forgot to file your taxes, you need to call the professionals right now at the Tax Helpline. They are experts at knowing the tax regulations, and their goal is to help you pay as little as possible. Call right now and get a 100% free tax evaluation. Remember, before the IRS knocks on your door, knock on our door. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, make this free call right now.
Call Texas 321 now at 800-808-9443. 800-808-9443. That's 800-808-9443.
If you love spring and Indy but hate to paint, do what Lynn did. She called Rhino Shield.
It is a single-wide manufactured home. We moved from our home, which we had the Rhino Shield on. Rhino Shield was what we were going to do. That was no question. We knew we were going to do it.
Rhino Shield's a ceramic coating. It's not paint, it's better.
The Rhino Shield representative came, and we discussed what we wanted done. And this time, we had the roof done as well.
Now, you can have the 25-year guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield for 15% off the regular price.
Even the people that have been a little younger than us have said they don't have to worry about getting just an everyday painter because Rhino Shield has the 25-year warranty, and we truly believe in this product.
Here's Rhino Shield's Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl.
Go Rhino!
Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Tired of digging through noise to find real news? Go straight to WIBC.com. Local stories, statewide impact, national headlines, info that matters. When news breaks, WIBC.com is already on it. Stay on the know while you're on the go.
There we go. Producer Carl, you can do no wrong today. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. It's time to play America's favorite game. What the heck is that TV theme song? Here's how we play. Producer Carl picks a theme song from yesteryear or not so yesteryear. I have to guess what it is. And this, it's actually a beautiful tune. This is the theme to Hill Street Blues. Turn it up. I mean, like 2 chords. Bum, bum, bum. You knew what it was immediately. Chat room's blowing up. They know what it is. Right there.
You should be a professor of TV theme show songs.
Wait. There are some I don't get. You've gone through stretches where I can't figure it out.
Yeah.
You know, this was just the easy one right here. This was, for me, this was easy. I mean, this would be akin to playing Saved by the Bell. Right? Just How are you going to miss it?
Now, I hope you watch that with your kids and not by yourself.
Saved by the Bell?
Yeah.
Don't you judge me. I think that's the way I'm going to put that. The full conversation I had with Dr. Matt Will on property taxes, it will be there at WIBC.com. Producer Carl will get that up and get that done. I want you to see it. By the way, I had brought up the other day, as I've mentioned before, that if I could be a game show host, I would stop everything. Just be a game show host. That is it. And someone says I should be hosting a reboot of Name That Tune. Don't they have a reboot of Name That Tune? There's a reboot of everything. So one day. Right now, I am most thrilled, and I'm going to see a whole bunch of you tonight in Kokomo, Trump and American Reset in 3 bourbons, presented by Laser Precision Marksmanship Club. You want to learn how to shoot the right way, utilizing these interactive videos with these firearms that are laser set, so you're not going through ammunition. You can learn, no judgment, fantastic people, Laser Precision Marksmanship Club, laserpmc.com. They're going to be there, the full simulator on site. Going to be amazing. LaserPMC.com. Check them out. Say hello. Tell them Tony Katz sent you. Von Riest of the watch people, Flederman Von Riest. A watch is assembled in Kokomo. In Kokomo. PA Jewelers will be there showing off all the watches. Heaven Hill Bourbon providing all of the bourbon and some cool swag, including some really cool pieces engraved by Drake's Laser Engraving. Appreciate Drake getting that done. David Drake. I'm going to see you all there. I'm really looking forward to it. Have fun. Tony Katz today is at noon. Kendall and Casey are up next. Matt Bear has traffic.
Southeast side, northbound 465 between Brookville Road and Washington Street. And lots of emergency vehicles hanging out with a semi that is not